All right, let's fade that music out. It's time for the newly scheduled Grinding Gear Podcast. Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
How y'all doing?
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Up on the microphone. Check
Oh, yeah.
Check your distance.
All right, this is a more or less. Let's see. How weird does my crotch look?
It's like he's in my ears and across from me.
And across from you. It's more about so we can hear ourselves and make it like lip smack noises.
Yeah.
And I was a little breathy on the last podcast. I would like to mitigate that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mitigate that. How does my hair look? Because it's weird when you put the headphones.
You look good.
Is it good? Is it good? Yeah. Is it good? The monitor of my video is over there. I can kind of see myself there, but my monitor is like it's tiny. It's tiny.
Do I control your volume here?
Can
I turn you down in my ears?
Not just you. You would also be turning yourself down.
That's okay.
How's that?
No, a little lower.
A little lower. A little lower.
A little lower.
A little lower. A little lower.
A little
lower.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
I don't need it all. Nothing at all.
You don't need a full 12 decibels of Garrett?
No, I don't need
No?
it.
Okay.
Rocking.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. You're over there. Hello. Good to see you all.
Hey, stream.
Hi, people. Actually,
I can. I just really. Let's see. How can I make? I can help you out with those. Hold up. I can do a thing.
Oh, you're gonna put everybody here.
Yep. We're gonna do.
So I can be furious.
Fast and Furious.
I can see the rarely seen back of my head.
The rarely seen back of Kyle's head. Oh, God.
Exclusive content.
Everything's breaking. Everything is breaking. We're going to hide this.
Mm-hmm.
Amarat, everyone. Gaze and despair.
Does he have a cane? Why
does he have a cane?
I mean, it matches the style, but
it does.
He never had a cane.
Why does he have a cane?
Yeah. I wish he had a cane.
I don't know.
The limitations of the engine.
I was very quickly trying to cohesify our wallpapers.
Yeah.
So you've got Amarat. I've got a different Amarat.
And you got, and this is kind of, you got some, the colors are kind of peeking over the top.
I think I can customize that color,
you should be able to.
I don't remember how.
Yeah, that's an old.
And I don't think it can do this. I think it's like one color or bust. One color.
Let's not sign ourselves up for that. A wallpaper per topic is great, but
yeah,
let's not sign ourselves up for the fans matching.
Let's not do that. Okay, we're gonna go over her. We're gonna go to create. We're gonna go live. We're gonna grab this, and can you pop out? Is popping out?
Yeah, there's a pop out, right? There's a pop out.
There
we go.
Look at that spike.
There's the people.
Yeah,
oh my
God!
God!
Them over here.
Oh my God! It's like it's actually there.
We're still working on it.
They're there.
If everything goes according to plan, next week there'll be a TV right here.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, TV right there. I can't get to the edge to do the double click trick. There it is.
It was like it's like it's added in post, like some sort of YouTube video, but it's happening.
But it's happening
for
live.
Real.
The production is happening from inside the studio.
Inside the computer.
From inside the studio.
All
Kane
right.
Tech is in the Blue Mage story. Good to know.
Kane Tech.
If you read this, have a great day. You too, Bo. You too.
Squeaky.
It has an older chair.
Yeah. It's all good.
We had a budget. We are very quickly coming up on that budget.
I think we've done amazing. Investors meeting. We did amazing.
Yes. I've been trying to be smart about it. I was camping for a new camera for like 2 solid months.
Yeah.
Because I didn't just want to pay full new camera price. It's not going to be probably not going to be a live streaming camera. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much. You're not going to really notice the fruits of this labor until not the next video, but the video after that. So not this Wednesday's video, but next Wednesday's video has the first ever 3-camera setup in the history of this program. So we're going to have this wide shot, and then there'll be a camera on Kyle and a camera on me. The production will look nice. I'm very excited about it. And that third camera was probably the single most expensive purchase of this entire bullshit that we've been doing here.
I mean, unless you factor in purchasing me being
your
here.
entire move was pretty ridiculous. Yeah, but single object, single item, that camera. And so I already had a Sony A7 III with a 35mm prime lens for the camera nerds.
Wow.
And I was like, that'll
that off.
I've got an A7 IV with a kit lens, which works great for a wide shot. And I was like, well, it would be lovely for the solo shots of each of us in our videos if I didn't have to work with a weird lens, or even the color science has changed when they went to the new A7 IV. It's not quite the same as A7 III.
Okay.
So when I try and color grade it to make us look consistent, at least with the two side cameras, where it's only going to be on one of us, they're using the same color science. So this is going to make shit so much more streamlined.
That sounds nice.
These are all things that I do that Kyle, like, this isn't a boast. It's just, this is my part of the job.
Yeah.
And so Kyle's unaware of it. And yeah, I don't really consider myself like a color grader either, but I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah, no, I know where I apply.
We don't go anything for creative. We're not going for like the yellow acid wash that anything that's shot in New Mexico tries to do. Like, I don't try and make it look like Breaking Bad or anything like that. We're just trying to make it look like natural lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice.
A little blue. We're a little blue.
Blue is the color of technology. Look at all this
I want to
technology.
tweak this. I want to tweak this.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tweet it. Tweet away.
Oh.
We should tweet.
We should tweet.
We should tweet.
We could tweet. You want to tweet?
Ooh, Pothy throwing down for the purchasing.
Thank you for purchasing a Kyle. And then Das with 5 gifted memberships. Remind me tomorrow when we do the P.O. Box opening stream. Open Das's Christmas gift first, because I think he might explode. And by explode, I mean I think it might physically hurt me if I keep forgetting to give you this.
Okay.
Yeah, it has been sitting here for like a month, man.
Oh, let's do it on stream. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Das is really, really thoughtful. He may have spoiled what it is. I'm really excited to see him open it.
No, I know that it is likely something, because you were like, "Is this? Do you know what this is?" So I Googled the website.
Oh no!
And I saw that they had merchandise.
Oh, okay.
But otherwise, I have no idea.
All right, we'll stop there though, and then at least don't spoil people watching that are going to tune in tomorrow. No. Tune in to tomorrow's Tuesday stream, everybody. Going live 1 hour earlier than usual and going to just as late as we always streamed. So you're just getting an extra hour, Garrett and Kyle, on Tuesdays, everybody.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
How's that sound?
Well,
I'm tweeting.
Okay, he's tweeting.
Podcast. Let's see.
Slippers.
First.
Eventually, the
Monday podcast.
If you've missed
is live.
The updates. There's
the updates.
Table will continue. So my beautiful second knee. This knee might still, make an appearance.
Wear pants. You should probably wear pants.
I could wear pants. I don't know.
Oh, I don't want to log out of X. I'm not into the Garrett and Kyle account. All
right,
Garrett and Kyle account will not be tweeting today, everybody.
My hairy knees.
Yeah, I never really thought of you. Like, I'm looking at it now, I'm like, that's a completely reasonable amount of hair on your leg. And then when we just shot a video, and when we looked at the frame up, I'm like, damn, Kyle, your leg looks wicked hairy.
Yeah, it does.
Like, does mine look like... I don't really want... Oh, I'm wearing joggers.
Yeah, you're squeezed at the bottom.
I could take the pants off, and then it'll be in my boxers.
No, you're in frame. Yeah, you'd be on boxers. For the rest
I mean, I don't think that's technically against the terms of service.
No.
But it is boxers very specifically, not boxer briefs, and I'd be worried about floppage.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
Of course.
And free run. Eggs. Thank you.
Thank you, Eggs.
Best clickbait. We're going to talk about free run today. We both watched free run. We're both not caught up, but...
Oh, you're not done? I figured
Oh, Jesus, no.
Okay.
No.
Is it 10 episodes?
I think they're... Well,
or is it rocking?
I think they're on a mid-season break.
Yeah.
This is a good question. I actually haven't looked up. We just... We've been watching a lot of stuff. I also watched the first 2 episodes of the Gundam, The Witch from Mercury last night.
Oh, wait, what is that different than the other witch?
That is The Witch from Mercury. That is the most recent Gundam that came out last year that a lot of people liked.
Oh, tell me all about it.
And Crunchyroll has... It's so masturbatory. They have their own row of things that says the Crunchyroll Awards. I'm like, it's your own thing.
Well...
It's so disingenuous.
Yeah.
But it did remind me that I hadn't watched The Witch from Mercury yet. So
it's kind of cringy, but
I'm kind of thankful for it.
I kind of laughed when they had the Crunchyroll's names too long to actually be a good name for an anime, so we wrote this instead. Like, they're in the knowledge. They're sometimes cute.
Episode 20 is releasing this Friday of Free Run, so they're doing it. I believe I did Google if I don't know how to properly Google to learn about the length of an anime. So I just Googled is there a free run manga? There is. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, season 2, because I don't know how many volumes or issues of a manga equal how many seasons of an anime. Anyway, from my Googling, and I don't know how to inform myself about anime, but from my Googling, there's apparently going to be a season 2. according to my Googling.
I usually just go to Wikipedia.
Okay, that works. All right, let's bring that down. Okay, free reign. Yep. Episode 19. Yeah, I think I'm up to like episode 9. I've been bouncing around watching a lot of. I'm just in the mood for like new anime experiences, so I'm going all over the place. But yeah, free reign is probably my favorite. But that's show talk.
Yeah, let's get to it. Well, we press some buttons.
We doing?
Well, you know, we were just recording a video, so
yeah.
I'm gonna,
stretch this out a little bit. Stretch this out a little bit. How's my?
That way. As long as I'm
just showing my gut. My Xeno shirt shrunk, and I'm a little bummed.
No!
And it's making me look. Well, I mean, I do have a little bit of a belly.
It's post the holidays. Nothing wrong.
Also, I'm just realizing I'm drinking a carbonated beverage, which I usually don't stress out about too much because I can just ride that mute button. But that mic will probably pick up any burps that I let rip.
Oh, sure. Are you a celebrated burper? Do you need to control yourself?
I will do my best to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, careful with the going down on that. We need to get those.
Yeah, that's right.
Can I put you on finding me some rubber gaskets for these?
Yeah, I'd be down to that.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to buy little washers to weigh down my Warhammers.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'll be going by the Home Depot soon.
Oh, yeah. I think we got some other thank yous to dish out here. We got, I got you eggs. DOS, thank you for the super on top of gifting membership. So, Garrett, you will also have a present. I believe the important part comes today. Happy early birthday. You're doing too much, DOS. It's very kind. Thank you. We need to become Facebook friends so that I am reminded of your birthday. That's what I need.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because you use the Facebook.
I for that kind of stuff, yeah. That's that and car meets are my favorite reason to continue to use Facebook. Facebook gets a lot of shit, and rightfully so. But of all the social media shit, I think they are, without a doubt, landslide victor for local social media stuff. If you want to see what's happening locally, none of them are as good as Facebook.
Is Craigslist still around?
Craigslist is still around. I wouldn't really call that a social media site.
Yeah, but they, have local pick up free wood kind of options.
Yes. I go there to look for cheap financial mistake vehicles.
As in, people have made financial mistakes?
No, they are cheap, but they are cheap for a reason. And if I buy it, it will be a financial mistake, yes, because it'll be a money pit.
That's where you got the Scamterra, correct? Was off of Craigslist?
Facebook Marketplace.
Oh.
Yeah. It's working pretty well. I've had no issues since we dumped about $3,000 more into it.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yay.
No problem.
Trucks, it is, some people might take issue with me calling it a truck, but it is a body on frame vehicle. Trucks are expensive, and it is now a functioning truck.
Oh.
So even with the near $3,000 that we've put into it after purchasing it, it still comes in vastly under any other truck I could get and be as reliable as this thing has been since we fixed it.
We talk a lot quieter when we have the headphones on, because we're monitoring each other's ears.
This is why podcasts sound the way that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, but I feel like this is how I normally talk because I'm always monitoring myself.
Yeah, it's been so long. It's been a solid month since I've monitored myself.
Yeah, maybe I talk quiet to you. You talk so much louder than I ever thought you did.
Yeah.
And it's something I've never noticed before. Maybe it's because we're in a smaller... Like right now, I guess this is a little echoey because I still haven't found a noise reducing solution that I like, that I want to look at, I guess is. I want it to look nice, is it. And I don't want to spend a ton of money, and those two things are opposed.
Yes. Well,
looking nice and being cheap are usually not connected. But open ear headphone monitor. I mean, we could get the bone conduction.
Yeah, that's I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't want to conduct in my bones.
Conduct in your bones.
Yeah.
Like
that I haven't done any research at all.
I really want to try those. They're hard to find with a wire. A lot of them are wireless.
Makes sense.
And I need the wire if I want to use it on something like this.
Like, mercury and old makeup, like it just seems like a bad idea.
Here comes a test.
Huh?
Did that come?
I didn't hear it.
Did that burp come across? I didn't hear it in my headphones. Did that burp come across, everybody?
I didn't hear it.
We heard it? They heard it. So I did let that one rip, kind of as a test. Okay, so if I do it
slightly,
just completely rip
There's
it.
a slight, softly. It was a gentle burp.
It was soft.
Yes. No, I do project. I do tend to sit up more often. And
it's something I never noticed like when we did hotel recordings or anything.
Smaller space, more unknown space, right? I'm comfortable in your place, so I tend to Breathe with the belly.
Get into it.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always liked the conversational nature of a lot of the podcasts that I grew up listening to. So I think that's what I tend to inflect. But even then, like, I don't know, like for the longest time, I was the most inspired by Tom Merritt, and he has that newscaster voice.
Oh yeah.
Kind of relays information as if he was on a news program. But I
is.
don't really do that
He
anymore.
was.
I think I've found my own voice, which I like. I'm into that. It's probably a healthy thing. The pre-show is going to go on and on because the novelty of you being here in person has not worn off.
I'm glad.
Yeah. A vein. Thanks for the 9 months. So Garrett, my package should have arrived too. Remember to share.
There's also
Thanks, Ben.
a printout of instructions we'll have tomorrow from Kristen, maybe for some sort of order.
Ooh.
Or a box might have multiple.
Can we have it on
items inside.
tactile paper?
Yeah, I have a
It's
printer.
an actual
now.
printout?
Yeah.
Nice. I need to bring my printer back in here. It's going to live somewhere on here.
I got another Brothers. I like Brother. It's just Brother. There's
I
not two.
think mine's a Canon.
Canons.
I went with it because they have individual color cartridges. And so I don't have to get a whole new cartridge just because I ran out of black.
No, it's just a black and white printer. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't need to print a photo. What the hell? I can register a photo to be printed at Walgreens and pick it up.
That is true. By the time I think of it, it's usually too late for Christmas and it pisses me off. So that's another reason I got the Canon, so I can do it if I want to give photos as a gift.
It's a little bit of a city thing, because I could walk to Walgreens at my previous place. So
I get in the car and go down.
Yeah, it's a whole ordeal.
And the last time I did...
Oh, well, that's the website's supposed to not let you do it if the machine is down.
It did, and it took my money.
Right?
Yep. It's arcade cabinets all over again.
Yep.
We've gotten away from this. Garrett, was Kyle's 500... How was Kyle's 5 under the speed limit drive? Have you actually talked about driving slow? I don't think you drive slow.
Occasionally, like it's more of a state of mind than an actual practice.
He did just start ripping turns in my neighborhood as if he had any idea where he was going.
Yeah.
And it was the wrong turn, the wrong direction every single time. We went the wrong way. So I would say he's, if anything, you're kind of gung-ho. Maybe not speed-wise, but you do just seem to keep going whether or not you have a confidence that you shouldn't have.
Yes. Well, I'm landmark-based. So I have a very good sense of direction. I can always find my car in a parking lot. But I need to get horribly lost and then recover from said activity first.
I'm not sure that means you have a good sense of direction.
No, it does. You get a lay of the land. I want to explore.
We did that leaving Epcot on Saturday. We went with some friends. You were invited. You didn't come because you're tired, as we expected you to be.
Sleep regression too, man.
Yeah, excuse me.
It's a thing. 1-year-old is hitting a big milestone.
And I didn't note where we parked the car. And then Katie and I just had a short conversation. We're like, we're past the tree line. We're just past the tree line. And we remembered what sidewalk we came in on. And sure enough, found the car right away.
Yep. You didn't goofy it? You didn't, note your...
No, we didn't. We were in Rocket Raccoon parking.
Because you're in the...
Yeah, but I totally forgot. We were meeting friends.
COD? Is that COD where the Guardians of the Galaxy ride is? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, the one here is completely different from the one in Anaheim.
That's a replacement of Tower of Terror.
Anaheim, yeah, they replaced Tower of Terror. We have original Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios. We have a completely unique, bespoke indoor roller coaster for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is it a crazy vole, or is it a straight up? A crazy vole is it's a 2x2 little mouse car.
It is a 2x2. They turn independently of the wheels beneath them on the track.
But it's on the track.
It is on it. Well, yeah, it's on a track.
Well, Star Wars is on like a
that's a completely it's a railless system. As Star Wars. No, this is a roller coaster on a roller coaster track. It is quite fast. Does not invert. But the cars can turn independently of what's happening on the track, and so they tend to lean you into the turn as if you are drifting. And so it's actually, I think, the most comfortable roller coaster I've ever ridden.
Oh, leans into it.
They turn you into it, and so the you're always like the G's are kind of on a corner, diagonal, like you're kind of comfortably being smooshed into the side of your seat, as opposed to when there's a hard turn on a normal roller coaster, you're just getting shoved to the right or to the left. Almost as if you want to fall out of the damn thing. But this, it's like, ooh yeah. But they also will turn you to look at, like, there's massive projection. It looks like you're going through an actual galaxy.
Right, like that horrible Harry Potter ride.
I like both of the Harry Potter rides.
Oh, it's so nauseating.
I don't know which. Probably the non 3D one.
The one with the Dementors.
Oh yeah, and they're like the
The
clouds.
vacuums. It's a great effect,
Yes.
but what a nauseating
You're like,
ride.
I always thought of it as like, it feels like you're sitting in a church pew for that
Yeah.
ride. It's like a long wooden box.
Yeah, they're displaying stuff. Or probably a better comparison would be the Journey into Imagination, but it's not called that anymore.
No, it's that's an Omni mover.
Yeah,
Like,
but they turn you
Haunted
to
Mansion.
face certain
That is true.
directions.
Yep, that is fair.
Oh,
That is
like
fair.
the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, Haunted Mansion turns you. A Little Mermaid is also an Omni mover. You're sitting in the shell. Drosoini supered. Thank you, Drosoini. Manga to anime is a cooking versus baking thing. It's feel rather than formula.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm into that. I think I prefer non-Kai Dragon Ball Z, at least for the first couple sagas.
Oh, is that non-manga?
It is Kai is manga, or the original run of DBZ had a lot of filler, but I
Oh,
really enjoy the filler of like the first two. I really love the Saiyan saga filler because Goku dies pretty early. And he goes to hell. None of that was in the manga. I mean, he died,
Gotta fill time.
but him going to hell was not in the manga, and I love the part where he goes to hell.
Is it actual hell? Like, like
Well,
Smoking
I
Devil
watched
and-
the 4Kids version on like UPN first thing in the morning, and so they like erased one of the L's on there's devils and they wear t-shirts that say hell, and they made it look like hail, which makes me think of Nazis, which is worse in my opinion. But yeah, even though this is a hail microphone, but and makes me think of German.
Yeah.
Anyway. In-person podcast is Podcast AF. Thank you, Pothy.
It's true.
We haven't even started yet.
No.
Let's
Hit buttons and record things.
let's get Audacity going in the background. Oh yeah,
That was weird. I definitely remember the shifting of Bulma's swimsuit, how it danced on her body slightly.
was there like a topless Bulma scene?
No, I think
I know there's a lot of nudity in the
believe
original.
she was
run
in a
of
bikini, and it was rather
revealing.
yeah.
and
So
they were
they
just
made it a
trying to-
one piece,
Oh, okay.
and so her stomach was always kind of like at war with the edges of her own
You
body.
found it. The only One Piece I like less than One Piece.
Yeah, the one.
Come on,
That was decent. It was decent for a podcast.
give me for a podcast.
For a podcast.
Go f yourself. All right, shall we do this?
Yep.
I just realized I didn't really think about how I can put up the logo.
You need to show everyone your slippers. It's really just.
Oh yeah, everybody.
They're
I got
really just amazing.
My Jack Skellington
yeah,
slippers.
look at those. Look at those things.
Yeah, look at them. Look at them. Yeah, I think Katie has 0. I think we have a matching pair. She never wears them though. Yeah. Yes. Of the dog. All right. Let's see. Oh my god. There it is. All right. Grinding Gear Podcast episode. I've got
71?
2 different track pads in front of me. 71 records live in 3, 2, 1. It's time to grind the beginning of the week. I'm Garrett. He's Kyle. And this is the Grinding Gear Podcast.
Hello.
In our hopefully final camera angle. I think this is the angle we want.
it.
I need to make one more table that extends out further. This is all highly visual. If you're listening to this in audio only program and you actually care about studio plans and want to see what I'm talking about, head on over to youtube.com/AMoveTV. Take a look at this. We record it live now every Monday.
You just almost dropped something.
As I almost dropped something. Oh, I'm feeling very self-conscious. My shirt shrunk in the wash, and it's feeling a little tight.
No, yeah.
And I'm showing off a little more of myself than I want to. Things you can only see on the Grinding Gear YouTube channel.
On video.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we have officially moved the show to Mondays. This is the plan for the time being. You know us though. We do flex for things like sickness, life events. What?
Oh, your camera's not on. We're still loading.
Oh shite. Growing pains.
Yeah, man. I'm
Growing
not in charge of
pains.
this now. I'm free. I used to press all these buttons and make all the mistakes.
Yeah, we need like a monitor that direction so I
Yeah.
can just sit here with a wireless
Well,
keyboard.
sort of.
And
Because, now we can look at a camera and be more agreeable. So I'm talking at the audience and I talk to you.
Yeah.
Whereas if we put a camera there, I might look at it all the time. They don't know I'm looking at them. So, but I agree. Yeah.
you just get better at it.
Yeah. It takes practice.
Deal with it.
It's actually really hard to look in a camera. It takes work.
I'm pretty used to it.
Man, they look like
pretty used to
kind
it.
of look like alien eyeballs.
I had to convince a regular client of mine that would regularly have me interview people in their organization who are not media trained. And it took me like a good year to convince them that we just should stop trying to get them to look into the camera for the camera angle. I was like, we should put them at like a 3/4 angle. I or whoever is administering the interview questions for the testimonial that we're capturing can stand off camera and they can look at them in the eyes and have a normal human conversation. Yes. And when we finally made that switch, the content I was making for this client got so much smoother, so much more natural. Tip to anyone out there, if you're getting started with your videography career and you need to do interviews or testimonials for a client and nobody is media trained, suggest that they don't look into the camera.
Or use the DME frog.
Sure.
Yeah, the Florida DMV had a frog.
Your mileage will probably vary based on the client.
Well, you only had to take one photo.
Are they corporate clients?
You know,
what's their sense of humor like?
I mean, if there's one thing that's hurting children, it's corporate.
I mostly work with people who tend to be on my wavelength because at this point in my life, I'm very lucky that people only get in touch with me and want to work with me because they probably already dig what I got going on.
Sure.
So, by the way, Kyle's here now, by the way. So
yes.
If you want me to do some video work, I can bring Kyle with me. So
that's true. I can help.
Hit me up. createwithgarrett.com. I should make a createwithgarrettandkyle.com.
Garrett and Sons.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The Sons never holds up anyway.
Yes. I still do videography and video editing. And yeah.
So this is our big rewind episode. We're gonna go back in time.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be nothing, but let's talk about what we did over our holiday break.
Okay.
Because clearly, if we record on Thursday and then we're flipping the switch and immediately doing an episode on Monday because we're switching the podcast to Monday, clearly there would be nothing going on in the world of gaming that would be relevant, newsworthy.
No.
However, Power World came out.
And it's noteworthy?
It is a massive drama, the likes of which we've definitely seen before.
So it's very positive on Steam. It's selling like the hotcakes.
It is. Last I saw, it was over 5 million, and that was yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised if it went more further.
There's a lot of people want to shoot Pokemon with guns. Or do the Pokemon have the guns? Both?
Both.
Both have
eventually.
The guns. Okay. Are they rubber bullets? Are you catching them?
We just hold on, give me a moment. Give me a moment here. I'm still getting my bearings. I'm still getting used to this angle, where I'm looking if I want to check in with chat. All that kind. You got a different spot than me. Pardon our dust. You do a setup and you're like, this is totally it. It's perfect. It's flawless. And then you sit down and you're like, oh no, this doesn't work at all.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I know you're over there, but you're also right here for me, chat. You're right here for me. But there's also, we should, thank some people.
Oh yeah, we should yes,
remind people that if you like what Kyle and I do, you can support us at supportourbromance.com. That'll take you directly to our Patreon, which many people have done. Thankfully so. It really has helped smooth out all of the expenses.
Oh my goodness.
Of everything that's going on here. So thank you very much for that. Many of you have stayed on longer than we expected. Not everyone has, and we get it.
No, we did. Yeah. We did a drive, and we are absolutely floored and pleased that so many people stuck around in the new year.
Yeah,
and naturally, it's just getting going. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, so thank you for it. Check out supportourbromance.com where you can get a version of the show where you don't hear this promotion, as well as bonus content like access to our members-only channels in the Discord, and we've done some commentary tracks, some spoiler podcasts, some patron members only, and YouTube members, Q&A, all that kind of stuff. And this Friday, we'll be doing our Patron's Choice stream, which our epic level and above get to suggest what game we play and then vote on what game we play. And it looks like it'll be keep talking and no one explodes.
No one explodes, I believe.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is.
Do you think we can have a jank set up at your place? Because I think Katie has some meetings that day, and I think we literally couldn't pick a worse game.
Yeah, if we're talking and we're going to explode. And it sounds energetic, like Space Team.
Yes.
I like Space Team.
I've never played Space Team. I don't know what that is. I'm just agreeing because I'm polite.
So in Space Team, but wait, we're still in the We're still in the Patreon plug.
SupportOurBromance.com if you want to vote on what game we play. And the stream itself is for everybody.
Yes.
So join us this Friday for our Patron's Choice stream, and also Thursday for MSQ, and tomorrow for P.O. Box and in-game inventory management. Doesn't sound very interesting when I say it like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So now, what were we talking about?
Pal World.
Well, in that case.
Good. Oh, great news, everyone. Shove it.
So give me do you craft open world?
So I was expecting you to start talking about it, and then I was going to be like, so I actually played it.
Nice.
And then you remember, but I already spoiled the Kyle that I played it over the weekend. This wasn't planned. We thought maybe we would actually rip a Pal World stream on Friday, and then we realized, oh god, we still have so much to do because everything's still in turmoil. Things are still moving.
We got a video coming out.
There's a framed piece of artwork behind you I haven't even hung on the damn wall. There's so much stuff going on, and we're trying to get back on our video cadence.
Buffoonery.
Which means we're also video editing in the middle of all this. We probably should have taken another week off video editing.
Probably, you know what? I'm eager. You know, we just did a Patreon plug.
Oh, I know, I miss it. But,
yeah.
But yes, at the same time, it's a little. It's a bit much. It's a bit much.
My
anyway.
pod's not even here yet.
But we are happy to be back. Yeah, you still have very minimal furniture in your home.
A little bit of camping. It's fine. It's okay. We're still holding on.
Now you're camping with Kyle.
Morale is high.
Ooh, yeah. I had to have a Kyle coffee the other day, and it was delicious.
Yeah,
with hand pressed espresso.
Yeah, that box.
Also, like I know you grind your beans. You gave me something out of like a can pre-ground, and I'm like, there's no way this is going to taste good. It was delicious.
Thank you.
It was freaking wonderful.
You know, I mailed you two things: my computer and a box with all my mouse, keyboard, and all that. And I put in my press.
Yeah, and
so I can make espresso.
I mailed my Pokemon bullets, and I got Pal World.
Well done. So tell me about this.
So yeah, I've played
sensation.
actually, I can go to my computer that we're sitting next to.
Like we're really
I
here.
can pull up Steam because that's a thing I can do.
And all your shameful games.
And it's gonna verify. The only shame in my Steam are all the games I haven't played.
Yeah,
that
Cyberpunk's sitting there like 30 minutes played.
I played it. So let's see, how many hours have I put in Pal World? It's not a ton. 5 hours. Shit.
5 hours? That's pretty good.
Played more than I thought. I thought I was at like 3.5. All right, so I put 5 hours. This is my 5-hour review of Pal World. No, this isn't meant to be a review, but we're gonna talk about it because it's in the headlines all over the place. There's turmoil in the world. There's turmoil in the Pal World.
Okay, I'm assuming Nintendo is mad because they always get mad.
I haven't seen an official anything out of Nintendo. No, it's Nintendo fans getting mad on Nintendo's behalf. Which sounds disingenuous, but that is actually happening.
But that's the corporation.
But also, there's people who don't like AI. I would consider myself people that don't like AI.
Oh no,
who are also mad at.
We don't know.
Maybe, but maybe not.
Well, that's the point of AI, isn't it?
Well,
that's the fun of it. That's why everyone yells about the hands because
there's a lot. Do you want to talk my impressions of playing it first, or do you want to talk
let's talk
specifics? What do you want to do first?
I want to know your experience, if you had fun, what you do.
First off, I was just surprised. I didn't really research what type of game it was, but I like Pokemon. I don't really like the Pokemon games they've been making because they kind of just keep making the same game.
They do.
And I was a child when it first came out. And I feel, this is me a person, this is my personal opinion. I feel that Game Freak and Nintendo, they don't really give a shit about aging Pokemon fans.
I would agree.
And making a game that we would like to play.
I would agree.
Yes.
And I don't understand why they can't write a decent story. Because why wouldn't you? Just like,
That's fair.
Just like,
I like the...
I'm not saying you have to Mass Effect it.
I'm not sure I want a story from... Although, shit, a Pokemon game where I can romance gym trainers.
Okay, I would just about to say I don't need that.
No.
I don't need that.
Yeah, you shut your mouth. It's exactly what I want.
People do that anyway.
That's exactly what I want. I would love a full-on Mass Effect Pokemon game. But people are commenting on how they can just barely see my foot out of frame. I can't see what is happening to myself. Woohoo! There it is. And that's, it's a hot take, whatever. I'm on the internet. I know how to get y'all riled up. Like, I like what I've played of newer Pokemon games.
Sure.
But like, there could be more. I wish they would take bigger risks. I wish they would try different types of games. I wish they would, like, how do we not have a Pokemon MMO? That seems bonkers now. That's not what Power World is.
Sure.
But it is a multiplayer game with Pokemon-like elements.
I mean, I'm a human. I'm pretty proud of being human. I think we did pretty good in the evolutionary chain. However, I don't think all Pokemon evolution should lead to standing up and becoming more humanoid. I would like more. They don't use tools either, so they don't need to stand up.
I mean, that's something that all of the drama has made me aware of, because I haven't looked at like Gen 8 Pokemon, but now I have.
Yeah.
One of the things people are mad about is that some of these pals, as they are called,
they're pals.
Pal World,
Yeah,
the
the
pals,
world
they're
is
not
called
Pokemon,
pals.
they're pals, look too much like Pokemon. Which some of it I think is, and I've prepared a game for you.
Oh.
We're gonna play a little game later called Pal or Pokemon. So don't
Excellent.
worry.
Okay.
You're gonna get to judge for yourself.
Interesting.
After we're done talking about the news that is Power World and at least my solo impressions of playing.
So these are the Pokemon fans who are mad that the Pokemon look more like Pokemon. Too much like Pokemon.
To a certain degree. And even me, there's a few where I'm like, I'm not mad, but oh man, that's a ripoff.
I mean, there's definitely the Snorlax, Totoro smile going on. Stylistically, it is influenced by the Pokemon.
Just wait till you see some of the things I have put together for us.
Oh,
to
you got
judge.
some one-to-ones.
Wait till you see.
Okay.
Wait till you see.
So what do you do? You
Here's where the surprise came from playing the game. And not really researching it. I just heard Pokemon with guns, and I'm like, I like those two things. And it's made by someone who isn't Nintendo or Game Freak. So, hey, I haven't been super stoked on modern Pokemon. So let's see what someone else does with it.
apply some pressure.
And so I researched, did basically no research, jumped in, and I was like, oh my god, it's a straight up survival game.
Oh,
You like Valheim, Kyle? You want to punch trees for wood and build a cabin?
oh,
Because you can punch trees for wood and build a cabin in this game.
sometimes I do.
Yeah, it's decent. I think Valheim has vastly superior building, in my opinion. This is pretty limited in the freedom of what you can build.
How does it do? Do I like? I mean, Valheim. Obviously, you build the fort of your own design and angles and whatnot. So is this more like you put all the stuff into your inventory and it pops out a house in one shape?
So, like, even put up a wall, you have to first put down floor, and the floor is already like a massive square. So you're putting down giant chunks of squares to even start building. And so if you can do an angle, I'm sure you can fudge it, because you also have, unlike Valheim, which kind of does that snap to grid situation, this you can put on a whatever weird ass angle you want. But then if you try and get weird, at least in my testing, with like, I want like a 45-degree corner instead of just a 90-degree corner, it's like, no, it just doesn't even let you drop the damn thing.
Am I hungry?
Yes.
Do the animals attack my
Yeah.
fort?
Maybe. Yeah, I did come back one time and other pals were attacking my base. But here's the kicker that makes it, at least in my experience of these survival games I've played, if there's others like this, I do not know. A lot of people have been drawing similarities to Ark. I haven't played Ark. And so if you can fill your base with dinosaurs that do things for you, I am unaware of that fact. This is my first experience. You can fill out your base with your pals that you've captured, and they have quite a few unique abilities depending on which pal it is. Like a water pal, I almost said Pokemon, for example, can water your crops.
Will it do it on its own?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. As long as you put down seeds. Or if you got a Pokemon that has the pal, this is going to have a lock. Strap in, everybody.
That's fair.
If you have a pal that has the farming trait, you can just leave seeds in a chest on your property, and it will go to the chest, grab the seeds, throw the seeds in, and then the water Pokemon will come over and water it, and then the growing cycle will happen automatically because it's already been planted and watered.
I love automation.
I do too, and I found the automation very fun.
Ooh.
And it got me thinking like a Pokemon, because for the most part, the pals and like the type lined up in my head for the most part with what I thought they could do. There's icons, and it's all in the game UI, and you can verify if they can actually do what you can think they can do.
So if it looks like a water Pokemon,
They
it's probably
probably
water pal.
they probably can water crops. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. And fire Pokemon can keep your campfire going. and cook food. And so you preload the campfire with food, you leave. If you have a fire Pokemon there, they will go over, and there's an actual graphic for it. They will breathe fire on your campfire. And I came back and like I got this like very Flareon looking mofo.
Sure.
Breathing fire into my campfire, and I got like 40 stacks of grilled berries ready to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole time I'm out adventuring, and I still have, I think the band is 6, just like Pokemon. I still have six pals on my person I can go questing with.
And while out about, you run into other pals.
Yep.
And you must battle them with your battle.
You don't have to. It seems like at least early on, I'm only, again, 5 hours in, the aggressive pals are rare, or like they're boss type monsters. They get aggressive, they will chase you down and try and kill you. The regular run-of-the-mill pals, they either don't care that you're there, or they're like afraid of you and they'll run away.
Are there bosses?
Yes.
Are they well mapped out like Valheim? Valheim was very good at like, this is your objective, welcome.
So I fired up 2 worlds, and it does not appear that the world itself is procedurally generated, because I ended up on the exact same identical map and the exact same starting location both times.
Disappointing, but okay.
Yeah. I didn't overly research this because I enjoy, with survival games, I really like going in blind. So
exploration part of the...
I did go deep. I do have quite a bit of information, as much as I could gather on whether or not AI was used for you. I can give you... I have...
Okay.
The closest thing I, as not a journalist, could say 2 facts to that. But as far as the game itself, if you're out there being like, well, it's already known that it's this, it's like, I don't look that up when I play a survival game. I want to go in and try and survive.
First impressions.
And get lost. Yeah, even though I didn't know it was a survival game at the time. But then once I learned it, I was like, I don't want to look up any more of this. Although I did look up things like, can a Pokemon farm? Because I wasn't sure, or a pal.
Or, how do I make a bed?
Yeah, I knew that. There's a bed icon in the build.
Oh, perfect.
Screen.
Yeah.
That one's
but,
pretty
like
easy.
things you might need to know. In my experience would be mostly Minecraft, Valheim, and then I've watched a lot of Ark.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
I have no experience with Ark.
It's not
other than
pretty.
There's a weird shirtless Vin Diesel for some reason.
Yes, I'm not familiar with Ark 2. Is it even out? Ark 2?
I don't know.
I don't know. Ark is like something I'd love to do. It's an infinite time. If I had infinite time, I'd be into Ark.
If I was 13 again, I'd be really into Ark.
Maybe, right?
Yeah. But overall, I really enjoyed my time with it, and you're not starting out the gate with guns. It's like any other survival game. You're doing in like a stone axe and a mining pick. I have a bow and a lance right now, but there's a tech tree, and you can kind of see what's coming down there. So eventually, you'll be like smelting ore and making gunpowder and building rifles.
Do you feel a need to include a friend? Like, are you smitten? Are you?
I'm enjoying it. I've thought about it while I was hanging out in Epcot on Saturday for an early birthday for myself.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I already thought, I'm like, oh, I really screwed up where I dropped my base, because it's just like I set it up on a narrow cliff because I thought it looked cool. I just have no room for anything. And you just kind of have a radius from there's an object that's basically like a kind of like, it reminds me of a Pokemon Center, but like the computer on a Pokemon Center, because it's where you keep all your pals. When you drop that, there's a radius around that, and that's your base.
Sure.
And so I could go down to like the cliff below and drop things, but it's horribly inconvenient to go back and forth, up and down. So yesterday I started a fresh new world and put my base somewhere else. I could have broken everything down and moved it, and I was like, knowing what I know now, I kind of just want to start fresh. So that's what I did.
Sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah, I did. I have a good time. I think it's a pretty fun game. It looks kind of cheap and janky, but in a way I find charming, because it scratches that Dreamcast nostalgia I have for Sonic looking like a cartoon, but the world is kind of semi-realistic.
Well, but not beautiful like Valheim was capable of.
No, I really, and I know this is a weird thing to say for some people that look at Valheim and be like, beautiful? I think Valheim's beautiful. You know this. So like, I think if you like zoom in on a face of a character, yeah, it's pretty low poly and stuff, but like the game as a whole, it's a real, the forest is beautiful. The trees are a little janky. Like the tapestry, Valheim, when viewed as a cohesive vista, I loved how Valheim.
You got to move through it too, because the way the sun parts through the trees.
And it was like properly cohesive. The entire game, it had a look, it understood its style very well, and it applied that look and style to every asset, every corner, every bush, berry, and mountain. It all fit.
I guess the big game right now would be Lethal Company. If you ever think, this looks all right. Lethal Company's not as stylistically together, though.
I disagree. I think it is super. That's another one. I think it's just like Valheim. I think
Yeah.
it knows exactly the look it's going for, and it executes it very well. Lethal Company has it's like, to me, like PS1 nostalgia. Like really rough textures. Although we weren't doing individual fingies back on the PS1.
But, like, I'm just happy to have the draw distance gone and constantly be shrouded in fog of the PS days.
Yes. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So anyway, overall, like a surprisingly fun game, in my opinion. And I think it'd be fun to have a world that you and I were on. And I don't know how many players you can have. Like, the fact that it's not procedurally generated, I would be surprised if you can have massive servers. But also, like, these are the kind of things I get excited about because, like, we've got a pretty sizable community. Like,
Can you start one up? Yeah. Like we did with V Rising.
Yes. Yeah, V Rising felt like it got very crowded very fast, though.
That was...
we weren't even in control of that server. Our buddy, I think, let too many people on that server.
To be fair, we were also bumming on his server.
Well,
so
yes, that is true. That is fair.
It was our fault, too.
But oh boy, did it feel congested.
I found a beautiful little corner for myself. And
all right, chat is saying 4 without a server, 32 with a server. So you can have quite a few people.
Okay.
That seems like a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah. So do you want to get into the drama?
Yes. Okay.
Would you like to get into the drama? All right. So, obviously, comparisons are going to be drawn to Pokemon. This game, these pals, they look like Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Some, as you're about to see, like straight up lifted like eyes and mouths off Pokemon and put them on a different monster. Like 1-to-1. Like, it's those eyes, it's that mouth.
Yes. In visual, I've seen the Totoro and the Snorlax looking guy because he's just in the pictures and whatnot on the internet.
Yeah, which I would say I think I know that the Totoro guy is the guy with like the Gatling gun.
Yeah,
the yellow thing. That doesn't look that much like Totoro. Okay, I get what you're saying, but
so that's not like because stylistically, if I were to draw a smiley face. Just a smiley face. That's the same smiley face that was in...
Yeah, we should answer chat right now because the question has been asked, and I will say yes. People 100% forgot Pokemon or Digimon exists because no one cares about Digimon except Kyle.
Yes. Well, Digimon has the evolution thing where they get more techno babble on them, so it kind of dodges the issue because of the Digivolutions. They're digital champions. It's very different.
There are dozens of us currently being shouted
and so they,
in chat.
In that way, they move further away from being animals and often become straight up humans with hats on by the time of their final Digivolution. Digivolve. That's what it's called.
Digivolve. There you go.
Yes.
I knew that. That wasn't...
But Digivolve is a verb. So what's the noun of Digivolution? Digification?
I profoundly do not care.
And now there's like a card system and all, you like swipe cards, stuff great. I mean, like I dropped off when they started swiping cards.
I never dropped on.
Yeah, I was okay with the eggs though. I was okay with the armor eggs.
I was all Pokemon all the time. Digimon was the GoBots to Pokemon.
Yes, and it was fun.
Even though GoBots predates Transformers, does Digimon predate Pokemon?
I don't think so. But I don't know.
Not that it really matters.
It was a keychain, right? So
success is really all that matters.
Yeah, it felt different enough. But I was playing Digimon well after Pokemon.
Yeah. Digimon game did? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Again, doesn't really matter because all that matters is how successful, how many people like your thing.
So it's more than, a smiley face appeared in Forrest Gump on a t-shirt. And every time someone puts a smiley face on someone, we all don't yell how Forrest Gump was the original smiley face. And
well, I think that's the joke in the movie.
Right.
Is
he invented the smiley face?
That's literally the gag. That's the whole reason it's there.
So there was something...
It's supposed to be ridiculous in the movie.
So it's not just eyes and face. There's something clearly Pokemon level about these that have attracted ire.
I look at them and think Pokemon. I do not look at them and think Digimon.
Okay.
I also don't really think Totoro, but I see what you're picking up with that one guy.
They're going with it.
Yeah. So anyway, comparisons are drawn, and then people did some digging, and Pocket Pair, which is the studio that is making Pal World.
Pocket Pair.
Yes, they've been around since 2015.
Doing what?
Games, as far as I can understand, almost no one really played.
Okay.
But the CEO, Takuru Mizobe, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Someone dug up multiple tweets over the course of this man's life talking about a fascination with AI, and the one that everyone is really locked on to is one from back in 2021, showing side by side like some actual Pokemon, and then remarking he was playing with some AI program that was making Pokemon.
Okay.
From a database that pulled from existing Pokemon. So it was making new, unique Pokemon-like monsters from a database of real, legally protected Pokemon.
Okay.
So
for his own fun and enjoyment.
But potentially. So, and then there were a few more over the years talking about AI and kind of ruminating on that as a tool. And one of them kind of basically, I think, used the word inevitability, looked at it as an inevitability of it.
Oh, people don't like that word.
No, people don't like. I don't like that word.
Yeah.
I don't like that word. Generative AI creeps me out. I think it's gross, and I do truly believe it has already and will continue to take jobs from artists.
Well, certainly, with patterns.
Yes.
For instance.
Yes.
Are a market that you shouldn't get into because a computer can make a pattern.
That's a bold statement.
Right.
We'll see where it even ends up. There's so much stuff in court right now. We don't even know what's going to happen.
And like, we're all going to have different reactions to it. My reaction, as someone who has done voice acting in the past, is of course towards the voice acting angle. That's where I have huge offense.
Also, artists.
And I would not. Right? I don't really feel the want to screw around with that. However, I have played with AI. My Windows prompts me to do AI near daily as like part of Celebrate Leopards Day or whatever. Right there in your little launch bar, it's constantly like, you want to make a duck today? And I'm like, not really.
I don't want to.
And my Photoshop also tells me it would like me to use its tool.
Yeah, Photoshop is, I think it's in beta right now, but they have full generative, like you want to add on to a photo, something that wasn't there before, it will do it, and it does it quite well.
Yeah.
These are all things that I used to do, even like when I was barely making more than minimum wage as a graphic designer at a sign shop. That kind of shit was daily, like, I want the billboard, and it's me with my truck in front of a lake. Can you make the lake longer?
Well, and like,
there was no more, and so I'd get in there and I'd like clone tool and hand paint. I had a tablet, and it was stuff I did for $12 an hour.
And what's like smashing things together? What's the art word for that? You said before.
Kit bashing.
Kit bashing. I love doing kit bashing for my D&D stuff. Like I would make characters or monsters by going to Google, downloading 5 images and kind of erasing a little here.
Literally how they made Star Wars ships.
Yeah.
With real kits, real model parts.
Yeah, little what you call like razor handhelds here.
That would be photo bashing in your case, I guess. But or hell, it's really just another version of a collage. So yeah, I didn't want to get deep into our thoughts on AI, but
sure,
it makes me deeply uncomfortable. I don't like throwing statements like that out.
Okay.
Is it inevitable in its current form? Hopefully not.
Oh, I meant it was inevitable that you would share a personal opinion, having talked about something you personally care about.
I thought we were going back to.
I'm not going. I'm not reinvigorating his inevitability
Okay.
statement. No.
All right.
No, and I was merely meeting you halfway by saying like I do not find offense in AI, and it's gotten me in trouble before. However, I can easily respect the offense because you talk about voice acting AI, and immediately I'm like, the hell are we talking about here? This is gross.
Yes.
So we all have.
I think privately I've come after you.
Yes.
For that before.
But
yeah,
I'm able to meet you in that regard when it comes to voice AI.
Yeah. Everything I've enjoyed up until this point was made by people. Yes. I would like it to continue being made by people.
I get you. So clearly
we're already unoriginal enough.
So the internet has grabbed onto his previous statements of him talking about this and looked at his current product being a little too close to the Pokemonage.
And a couple, there's one for me, like pretty damning side by side, and I did include it in our game today, so you'll see it.
Okay.
Where it's like exact eyes and mouths from an existing Pokemon that are slapped on another feline-esque pal.
Right.
And you can, it is like impossible not to see when you see them side by side. But so here that's the rub. Also, they have put out a game that uses AI, but the game is literally called, where is it here? I wrote it down. They released a game in 2022 called AI: Art Imposter, and it uses generative AI.
Huh.
It has a by Steam standards, very few reviews.
Well, yeah.
So like no one really played it. The kick, like the point of the pitch for this game is I'll just read this in the Steam listing. You and other AI artists are collaborating for a new exhibit. But one of you is an imposter that doesn't know the exhibition theme. Find out who the imposter is. So it's a multiplayer game where it gives a prompt for a quote unquote art exhibition. And then all the players use the in-game generative AI to like make pieces of art. I believe I didn't play this game. I'm not going to buy this game and play it for the sake of talking about it with you.
Yes, this is a podcast.
It does not look like a fun game to me.
Sure.
But it uses generative AI. But it's also, the whole game is literally about it in a meta sense. So, yeah. And so then there's a lot of other wrinkles. So there's no official statement anywhere saying that Palworld actually uses generative AI. Also, Steam, just late last year, added that new clause that you must disclose if you're using generative AI.
Yes.
And there's no disclosures whatsoever on the Steam listing for Palworld. So for some of these pals that look maybe a little too much like a Pokemon, we may, because we could be wrong. You know, there's a chance it could just be lying.
Well, it could just be plagiarism.
We may have a good old fashioned. They're just ripping shit off.
Just ripping it off.
Just ripping shit off.
It is weird to think that no one would notice. It's a massive fan base. You know, you're not going to really get away with it.
It is. But I think there's a total of 113 pals. They didn't do the full 150. And there's also a blog post on the official website for the studio that's only in Japanese. I haven't seen an official translation anywhere. They did not themselves do an official translation. So all we have to go off of is Google Translate, which takes some liberties.
Oh my god! Also,
with how
is a machine doing the
how to interpret
no.
Japanese? Yeah, yeah. But in that blog post, every read on it, including there's a Forbes article that talks about the everything going on with the accusations of AI and Palworld. They themselves mentioned that they looked at it, and it says. In that blog, they're kind of talking about how the game came to be. They said they hired an artist who, like, I'm not sure how it's really relevant, but it keeps getting quoted everywhere I see this mentioned, was turned down by over 100 companies before coming to work for them. And they're the one that has designed almost most of the pals is in the rough translation. But again, I want to put an asterisk next to all this because it's not an official translation. I am not capable of translating Japanese. And Forbes didn't go into detail on whether they actually translated or just used Google Translate themselves.
Why would their lack of being able to acquire a job increase their chances of not plagiarizing Pokemon?
I don't know.
What is the importance of this information?
Like in my head, I could see it as plausible that if one person had to do that many damn designs, that you might.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Borrow from some places to get this out the door.
Right. Many, like you have a lot of old comedies going back and people are like, wow, this was really offensive. Why did you create this? And the majority of people report, the creators at the time are like, oh, we had 1 weekend to write it. We were on time crunch.
So we punched down because it's easy.
It's all we could do, right? Yeah. Not exactly a good answer, but if you put someone in a crunch and tell them to make 500 Pokemon, I guess
113.
113 in this
pals,
case.
Not
pals. Pokemon. Then that is an excuse one could make.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good excuse.
None of this is I'm saying it's excusable. Like some of these are pretty egregious and I think they should change it. Some of these, though, I think are perfectly, like a lot of them I think are perfectly fine. Is it in the style of Pokemon? Yes, 100%. But the vast majority of them, I'm like, what? Even Pokemon themselves are clearly running out of ideas. Half of the new Pokemon look like humans.
Right, just because they're official doesn't mean the ice cream that dies if it ever melts is good.
So that's the thing. Like, it's extremely messy. It's a lot of assumption. There's things like the Steam disclosure and the lack thereof to push back against the accusations, but none of that is to say that they could just be straight up lying. They could have used generative AI and not disclosed it to Steam. And I'm sure Steam is looking into this because of how many damn copies of this has sold and the fact that they just went through all this rigmarole to actually update their terms of service and announce that they were going to have these disclosures. So I'm sure scrutiny is taking place, but We're not going to have true answers in a while, if ever. Imagine nothing ever comes out. Like imagine 2 weeks from now, Steam puts out a press release like, "Hey y'all, we went deep. We can't find any evidence of actual generative AI that was not disclosed." There's still going to be people who are like, "I don't believe you."
Yeah,
and it's just the world.
Well, that happened with Wish recently. The Disney movie. There was a whole push.
Oh, I thought you meant like Wish.com, where
No.
I buy clearly unoriginal, like unlicensed Pokemon merchandise.
Yeah, no. If I log into a website and it starts spinning a wheel and I'm going to win something, and I win a 10% off coupon, I'm leaving. I just don't like you anymore. I've never been to Wish.com, but I assume it's
what was the controversy with Wish?
Oh, there was a big push that it was written by an AI.
Oh.
And of course, it was one of the most insulting things the writer had ever heard in their
Or are
life.
we just getting old and it kind of feels like Disney and Pixar have told every story that they have to tell?
I think there's a good chance of that. You know, there's a magic when I walk outside with my 4-year-old son. He says, "Why do clouds look like that?" And you're like, "Well, I haven't really thought about that in a while." That's because the air is going up and
I actually don't know the science behind that off the top of my head.
Exactly. Or like how tornadoes start on their up or like
vortexing.
Well, they roll first horizontally before they eventually twist vertical. It's all this random shit you would never look up in your life and find magical again.
Yeah, Cuddly Zombie in chat right now says basically there's no smoking gun.
Yeah.
There's no hard evidence. There's a lot of assumptions being made and whatnot. Nothing I looked at it. Like I haven't seen extra fingers or more teeth than I feel like even a fictional monster should have. There's nothing I've seen that looks egregiously like it's generative AI very specifically.
I think the issue would be that someone made a image first and then made the model based on the AI, right? Because I don't think
it'd be very hard to prove that.
Yeah,
it'd be extremely hard to prove
because there wouldn't be an AI inside the game.
And that's what like MTG had, Magic the Gathering had a bit of a controversy right before the holiday break. They were advertising like new cards, and they had the cards in what looked like an illustration of like a laboratory, and the background was clearly AI made, like
that noisy.
Yeah, did you see that?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I saw
there was like an alchemy set, and there's like a pressure gauge with like a needle, and it looked all wobbly and ill-defined. And it's like no one would ever draw, even if you were being sketchy, you would never draw it like that.
I saw the Marvel thing with like Samuel Jackson's face kind of in the green.
Oh, that they straight up used generative AI for the official intro to his series.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that just looked bad.
Yes.
It
looked like shit.
Yes. Like it just wasn't.
It's subjective, but I thought it looked horrible.
Right.
And like, and that's I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but that is beautiful fuel for my FAI fire. But I don't think all AI is necessarily bad. I think the tool is interesting. Like, I mean, we've talked about this. This has come up on stream before. That's why I'm trying not to like revisit it too much. But my big thing is like, you should capture the database and what it does with data you put into it and sell that functionality to be used privately. Like give it to Disney. Disney puts all their shit in that database, only Disney shit, only shit they own.
Right.
And then you can use it to like generate a background quickly or something like that. Do I love that idea? No. Is it more, in my head, not a lawyer, say more legally, what's the word I'm looking for? Ethical? Much more. Sure. Much more.
More on the spectrum.
That's where I kind of fall. I'm like, this does feel like useful tech that should be private.
Huh.
You should be filling it with things that you own.
What a fascinating, I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole conversation.
Yeah. So, and here I am. If it does come out that this was like a big generative AI thing and all they did was just like load 8 generations of Pokemon into the hopper and just let it regurgitate out legally distinct Pokemon-esque monsters, I would be pretty pissed about that.
It sounds like Steam's doing the right thing, though, by at least tagging those that they're aware of and hopefully
they're trying
conducting an investigation, and then they would offer a refund should they.
Yeah, the thing is that it's difficult to prove.
Right.
It's really no different than their stance on adult content in games. Like basically porn games, for lack of a better word, they must be disclosed. Man. Everyone on Earth can very quickly, they're going to notice if a pornographic video game is not tagged as such, because they're like, "Ooh, that's porn. Let Steam know."
Sure.
How do you actually know if it's generative AI? How do you actually report it beyond the shadow of a doubt?
I think that's why the hands get so much focus.
And it's getting better every day.
Yeah.
And in this game, they're damn cartoon monsters.
Because you can type no bad hands now.
They can have as many fingers as they want. Like they can put as many fingers on not my mouth as they want.
Yeah.
You know, so it becomes a lot more difficult.
Or what I learned in the because we were watching Sonic Adventures. If you ever watched the old Sonic show.
Yeah. Is that the good one where it was kind of a hard drama, or is that the bad Saturday morning cartoon one where he was obsessed with chili dogs?
The chili dog one, yeah, that one was made to be like more of a WB. This was the like hard drama one.
I love that one.
Yes. The animators had to go back and add a fifth finger to all the characters because they were drawn traditionally with 4 fingers, as we often do in America. However, the Sonic Company...
That can't possibly be worth the money.
The Sonic Company said they would not publish and allow to be published a cartoon with 4 fingers because it's associated with the Yakuza. And so they made the animators go back and add in a 5th finger in all the scenes, and you can see it. Like, every hand in that show is doing kind of a pinky out expression. Like, they're all drinking tea constantly because these fingers had to be added in post. And there is even, like, low-res shots where you can tell that the animators were like, oh, screw this, and just cropped in and cut out the hands.
Did this affect sales of Assassin's Creed in Japan?
Because did they cut off fingers?
The assassins cut off their ring fingers so that the hidden blade can go between their fingers.
I don't know if, but that's its own lore, right? So I think you'd be safe because the finger's being cut off for another. They started with 5 fingers,
and I don't know which finger it is with the Yakuza, but
and I don't know either.
I'd imagine probably pinky.
I would assume so if they wanted Sonic to have a pinky added in all the scenes.
Well, that's where you would add it if you're adding. That's your only option if you're adding a 4th.
I don't know how you could confuse this.
Pinky finger? Okay, thank you,
But, you know, we run into all sorts of...
Thank you, Chat. Chat is on fire today. Other people are like, so Garrett has cracked it. All generative AI just must include dongs.
Yes.
There you go.
That's how we know.
Steam will suss it out.
Yes. That's how we all know that it is, and we'll... into the future. It already does, by the way. Like, that's what it's best at.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's everything I can dig up. There's no official statement from Pal World saying that they use generative AI, and I haven't, at least at the time of recording this, there has not been one refuting it.
Well, they should enjoy their top of sales right now and be busy updating their game.
Probably, and maybe fixing that one that looks almost identical to Meowth.
Yeah, if that's the issue, if there's a select few, maybe go in there and update them and just be like, just to avoid outcry.
Yeah, I don't. It's strange because there's part of the game does feel a little cheap, like a knockoff, little lowbrow, a little bit Wish.com.
Well, it's Cocaine Bear,
but
I didn't see Cocaine Bear, so maybe I should make a comparison.
You're talking about like intentionally campy movies, like Sharknado.
Yeah, Sharknado.
I hate that shit.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure that's a perfect example, but there's something about this feels cheap and unoriginal. But mechanically, I actually find it to be a pretty fun game.
Because the shock value is the Pokemon have guns.
That's why everyone's calling it that. Like
right.
I even like internalized. I saw it months ago, and I was like, "Fuck, what is that Pokemon ass looking thing of a gun?" And then without ever even seeing the joke Pokemon with guns, I started calling it that. And that's just what everyone is calling it. There's so many headlines. You'd be better off Googling Pokemon with guns right now if you want to read articles about this than you do Pal World.
Isn't that great of a name? Because Palia and Pal World.
I don't think it's terrible and funny playing up with Palia. Like, I was so excited for Palia. I still haven't played the game because their Twitter account is nothing but advertising microtransactions. And there's no way to more fastly turn me. Like, we got a new dress you can buy. And I'm like, I guess this is a game I don't want to play.
Yeah, same with Disney Enchant or whatever it was called.
Yeah, whereas Pal World is more in my wheelhouse. If I can either just pay money for it and play it on Steam, or it's also on Game Pass right now, which I already pay for. I'm just like, just let me play the damn game.
So you can play it on Game Pass. So
you can just play
even lesser invested in its.
Well, in theory, yes, but I think it's over 5 million Steam copies sold.
Yeah,
already,
it's huge.
And I think over the weekend, it hit 4th most played game by concurrence ever on Steam.
Wow.
I think. Don't quote me on that, everyone. And chat, feel free to. But this is, we're just now talking as friends. I didn't go verify that. That was just something I saw. It made me think of it. But it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And people are accusing Nintendo fans of being like overly touchy and just mad. But in like reality, like I'm like, yo, it's Nintendo fans that are playing this. Like, I love Pokemon. I haven't played most new stuff because it's when I went and played X and Y, I'm like, it's pretty. I feel like I've already kind of played this game. Like, I would throw money by the fistfuls at Nintendo and Game Freak if they did any sort of like properly online, like either a Pokemon MMO or something like this that's an officially licensed Pokemon survival game, anything of this nature, I would just eject money in their direction. So like I think it's a little disingenuous. I think they're just different types of fans. The people that really want the official Pokemon thing and see this as being too close for comfort. And I think that's a really fair assessment because I think it is very close for comfort. But it's also a game where you're using a M16 to shoot Pokemon, and I've never seen anything like that in actual Pokemon.
I've never cut down a tree in Pokemon. Well, I guess I've cut grass.
You have cut grass and thorn bushes, and you have surfed.
I've surfed, indeed.
Yeah. I've already, the thing I haven't done yet, I'm really excited about is like right before I logged off it last night, I caught a Pokemon pal, and learned how to make a saddle to put on that pal so I can have a mount. I'm like, oh, that's cool as shit. And I Googled and you can make a saddle for certain flying pals. Oh, and you can fly. I'm like that. Yes, I am I don't think this has ever come up. I am a mark for mounts, man. I love mounting in open world games.
Yeah, you like the traversal?
Yeah.
So, that sounds like what you're saying is there is a market for people who want to.
There's absolutely a market for this, and even though this game I don't think is setting the world on fire with its graphics, it looks way better than what was the one that the Pokemon game that looked like it was made 10 years ago and it was like brown. Was that Arceus? It was an actual proper open world game, but it is one of the ugliest things I've ever laid eyes upon.
Are you talking about the one with the motorcycle Pokemon?
There's motorcycle Pokemon.
Yeah. The Pokemon would like bend down into a motorcycle so you could ride it.
Is it Arceus? Okay, because I've heard Arceus is a fun game, but boy howdy does it look like it was. It's just I find it offensive to look at. It's too ugly for me.
Weird stuff. Thank you for the information.
Yeah, that's everything.
I'm happy I didn't participate in any of that.
Well, I mean, I find it fascinating, so it wasn't painful for me.
It was fascinating.
Maybe my replies will be painful after this.
Your report was most
maybe that's the best welcome. I could come up with.
Most welcome.
Did the best I could.
You did great.
I like Pokemon. I would like more modern Pokemon games aimed at a slightly older audience.
Yeah, no, I love
that's what I would like.
I'd love for my rival to be a functioning adult, not a child.
Yes.
Because I'm an adult.
Yes. They should straight up do like Red 2, Blue 2, and
30 years later
send us back, and it's kind of aged up for our generation.
Exactly. There were dudes out catching Weedles. Oh no, those are mostly bug kids, but there was like
green 2 for the Japanese market.
Cue Ball was there in the bike area. He was a grown man. Most of the gym owners were grown ass people. The Big Five were all grown ass people.
Oh, the Elite Four?
Yeah. Oh, Elite Four. That's it.
Big Five?
Big Five.
That's my favorite gum.
I watched too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Pardon me. The Big Five is in Yu-Gi-Oh!
The Elite Four, sir. I mean, it was 5 technically because you fought your rival at the end.
Yes. And somehow Professor Oak got back in there.
Did he?
I think he was on the...
Doesn't he congratulate you at the end?
Yeah, congratulate. Yeah, so he was camped. How'd he get there?
In the anime, I think there's a crowd, isn't there?
Well, you probably do it in front of a stadium of people.
We eventually got Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah. I like Yu-Gi-Oh! More.
I like Pokemon more. Well, I just straight up don't like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, they both have a cutoff, I think, of our interest. Where Pokemon ended for you and where Yu-Gi-Oh! Ended for me. Probably similar time.
As soon as, what was it? Silver and Gold? Was that the follow-up to Red and Blue?
There was a green in there. There was yellow.
Well, yellow was red and blue again.
Right.
It was just a
Pikachu.
And it also had Jesse and James, Team Rocket. Which, not to downplay it, the Christmas I got Pokemon Yellow was a very exciting Christmas.
Sure.
But I think it was Gold and Silver. Chat's catching up with me. Yeah. Gold and Silver. Yeah, that was one I always wanted to play. I think it came out as I was entering high school, and so I just kind of got distracted. I've never played it. I've heard from folks that with my love of Red and Blue, I really owe it to myself to go through it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I was exposed to a lot of the new stuff because I did a Pokemon Unite show for a time. And so
it's a very different type of game.
But, I got to see the newer Pokemon, and I got to see Gardevoir and the shark one. I like the shark one a lot. I forget his name at the moment. I'm not doing that show anymore, so it's been ejected from my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like this game. It's scratching an itch for me.
Nice.
Also, apparently, it's scratching the Valheim itch for me, and I didn't know any of that was in the game.
Well, that's just chill. That's just relaxing.
Yeah, I think we should try it. As long as there's not more controversy where it's like, no, this absolutely was a bunch of stolen shit. You should burn this game to the ground.
Yeah.
But
take the temperature, Garchomp. Yes, check out me, Garchomp. He's a cutie.
Thank you, Tingle.
You would love baby Garchomp.
I'm a sucker for water Pokemon.
Huh.
Love Squirtle is my. Who's your starter?
I did Squirtle. Yeah, Squirtle.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're both What?
I like the Squirtle.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, man, Squirtle.
I can fist bump you now.
Hydro Pump is good stuff.
Yeah. Squirtle was always my starter. Always my starter.
Wartortle, man, what an awkward phase, though. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Had to grow into it.
Wartortle's definitely the worst of the three. Sorry, Wartortle.
Those ears, man.
And then Katie and I both played X and Y, and that was Oshawott, I believe.
Who?
Oshawott was the water Pokemon for
Oh, is that the
X and Y.
alligator?
No.
The monkey?
I think it was Oshawott. Someone check me on that. That was Oshawott, right? He's a water. That was Black and White. Did I play Black and White? Why do I remember Oshawott?
Black and White was a good game.
What were the X and Y starters?
No, Lionsgate.
Oh my god.
Lion's Mouth.
X and Y starters. Oh, this was the one where. Oh, it's Froakie. That's right. Katie and I were both playing this, and she went with the fire Pokemon because it kind of looks like a long-haired Chihuahuas.
Sure.
Fennekin. Did I go with Chespin?
There once was a man named Michael Fennekin.
Froakie is not. I think I went with Chespin. I think I went with the grass starter with X and Y.
Was that the monkey?
No, that was the one after this. I didn't play the monkey one.
Is that the one that shot leaves off its head?
I mean, it's a leaf Pokemon. I think they
Most
all
of them
eventually
usually
shoot leaves off
shoot
their head.
leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know me. I have a thing against monkeys.
It's weird how we're talking about how confusing Pokemon are when, they have such a distinct look that we were willing to fight about it online all weekend.
Right. Would you like to take a risk with me and play Pal or Pokemon?
I guess let's do it.
All right, let's play Pal or Pokemon.
Do it.
So I have grabbed 7 of the most accused.
Oh, wow.
Pals.
Okay.
And they're, oh God, I'm on a different monitor. We're going to try and make this fun for the audio-only listeners as well. So let's try and be as visually descriptive as possible. So avert your eyes, Kyle.
Okay.
Avert your eyes.
Not looking.
Because I got to do a little bit of setup here. All right, here we go. All right, so first up, we have Lamball, who has been accused of looking like Wooloo, a Generation 8 Pokemon.
Okay. I feel a great need to remind everybody that I'm soon to be a father of 3, and I have not participated in this drama at all.
I would like to remind everybody that I haven't really played much Pokemon past Gen 1. I played a little bit of X and Y, and apparently Black and White. I just don't remember it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say they're both lambs. What's the problem? Because you see, the lamb industry should sue Pokemon for making a lamb.
So I think we should. I have an idea that I forgot to tell you.
Oh.
I think we're gonna have 3 degrees of severity.
Okay.
And we're gonna 3, 2, 1 and say them at the same time, and then discuss our disagreement, our potential disagreement.
Okay.
And I think number 3 will be cope, meaning there's no problem. Calm down.
Right.
Except we're not telling you the internet to calm down because I would never do that. I've learned my lesson.
Yes.
The middle level of severity would be pay the fine. You were caught doing something you shouldn't have done, but you don't need to go to jail. And then the worst level of severity is straight to jail.
Oh, okay.
Like, what are you doing? This is a crime. And so, all right, Lamball versus Wooloo. Cope, pay the fine, or straight to jail.
That's
3,
Cope.
2,
excuse me.
Cope.
Yeah, Cope. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is also Cope.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think this looks. Unless no one else is allowed to make sheep, I think this is perfectly visually distinctive.
This looks like those horrible round Disney things they sell at Target.
Oh, the like where the
plushie.
face is on the front.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a tube shape.
There's a round boy.
There's a name for those. I forget what they're called, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Ball
Some of them
boys.
are cute, but most of them are kind of creepy.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's like a turdification of a character.
It is. It's weird.
Same reason I'm not a big fan of pop vinyls.
I'm not a big,
Dead black
They got
eyes.
a lot of them here, too. In the Targets.
Oh, God, they're everywhere.
The whole thing.
Yeah, they're absolutely everywhere.
So what's up next?
Chat is, I'm seeing mostly Cope from chat as well. All right, next up, we have Lifmunk, who is accused of looking quite like Leafeon, which is a Gen 4, and I'm based on the name. I don't actually know this. I'm going to assume a new evolution of Eevee.
Interesting. Yeah, Leafeon. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, Kyle, cope, pay the fine, straight to jail. 3, 2, 1, pay the fine.
Really?
Yeah, I think the ears and the color scheme is a little too on the nose for my liking.
But they're on the Leaf Monk, they are literally leaves, whereas Leafeon is evolving into leaves.
There's still like there's the little cutouts that make it look like leaves on both of them. Now, granted, Lift Monks are more circular, whereas Leafeons are angular. But that color, not the shape, not the shape. I'm going just on the color scheme. I think the color scheme's a little too close.
Interesting. But still not straight to jail. So this
I think this is pay the fine.
Inspired by, perhaps.
I also happen to find the picture of Lift Monk looking angry holding an Uzi.
Yes, the Uzi does definitely detract from the Leafeon-like quality.
I have seen Lift Monk in game. Shape-wise, very different from Leafeon. It looks like a squirrel.
Yeah, basically. We have a big fluffy tail there.
Yeah.
So I think there's enough.
Yeah. Okay, all right. This is number 3. Ooh. We have Fox Sparks, who's been accused of looking like multiple Pokemon.
That's, I think, a problem.
This is one I came up with on my own. I think Fox Sparks looks a lot like Flareon.
I don't know, but if you're saying that the Pokemon are so generic that you can't choose which Pokemon that it is emulating, I think Pokemon has the problem now. They have a identification, a personality, silhouette issue.
It is the challenge of having that many monsters. It is the challenge. But okay, Kyle. Cope, pay the fine, or straight to jail. 3, 2, 1.
I'd say pay the fine. But not because of your Flareon comparison here. I just think the tail being on fire, like you're just
you're courting.
That's just a Pokemon.
Looks like the feet are also on fire.
By
the way, that's the pose Fox Sparks strikes when they light up your campfire. Nice. You go in and they're just inferno out of their mouth into the campfire.
I mean, it's just that is a Pokemon-ass Pokemon right there.
That's the first one I saw where I was like, damn. Because you go out and I think it's like there's pink cat dudes, chickens, and the sheep, the lamb ball. They're like, the second you walk out, the world's just lousy with them. I'm like, I mean, they look like Pokemon, but not any Pokemon I've ever seen. And then very quickly, I found a field full of Fox Sparks, and I was like, "That is the most Eevee evolution shit I've seen."
I struggle to, because like a Fox Spirit or Inuyasha.
Yep.
Like we have seen
foxes have been connected to fire and in a lot of media.
Yes, and foxes have multiple tails in many, many stories, making them legendary probably because you've killed them to get their tails. So what would be more mythical to a hunter than a fox with 9 tails on it? Oh shit. 9 tails? Oh, not like So that's a weird one because it's so generic on both ends. In fact, I'd actually say the Pokemon version is more interesting because the tail is fire-like without being on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one where I'm like, it's different enough that I don't think you should be sued for it, but like it also makes me go, come on.
Yeah, it's a little just don't do it.
Yeah.
All
right, this is one that I noticed the community making a lot. Fwack, who I have not seen in game myself yet.
Fwack.
Must be a little deeper into it.
Okay.
Versus the Pokemon Ducklet, which is I guess is a Gen 5 Pokemon because I also don't we're just doing ducks as Pokemon now, I guess. So let me know when you have your answer. Don't blurt it out.
Oh, okay. So for the audio audience,
I also saw some. I think it was PC Gamer. Retract that. I don't remember what website I saw it on, but they accused Fwack of looking like Psyduck, and I'm like, you're just saying that because they're a duck. Yeah. I don't think Fwack looks a damn thing like Psyduck.
Yeah, that's Quackis. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Now, like with Fwack here, I'm starting to see the AI idea a bit. Because you got the puffy neck thing that you've seen across many Pokemon to kind of like fill them out.
Yep.
You got these almost dog-like ears, fins on the side of the face for no reason.
It's like a whisk. You're working with smooth objects and you're trying to you're trying to infer feathers or fur.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing you do in that situation.
Okay, so let's rip it.
Okay. So, cope, pay the fine, straight to jail. 3, 2, 1, cope. Okay.
However, an egregious example of you're just taking Pokemon pieces and snapping them together.
It's the Lego, or it's a Mr. Pokemon head.
Yes, I'm making my own Lego character out of other Lego pieces. Like, yeah, you took the spaceman's head and put it on the police officer, but
But in a way that isn't full on Sid from Toy Story. It's not nightmare fuel.
Yeah. It's just,
but it is.
It's just a little.
It's the build your own lightsaber at Disney World. It's just the bin of lightsaber parts.
It's a little odd.
And you're like, oh, I got the cap from Anakin's, and I'm putting on the shaft from Darth Maul.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we got 2 more. Okay. We got Pangullet, a little water Pokemon currently watering my crops in Pal World, going up against Pal, not Pokemon, going up against actual Pokemon Piplup. This is Accused. It was a Gen 4 Pokemon. Looking at this, Kyle. You're looking at this. Also, don't forget about the fine folks at home.
Yes,
we need to move. We need to move the monitor over here.
Of course, yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, penguins exist.
Penguins do exist.
I would like to remind
penguins do in fact
Nintendo
exist.
fans that penguins do in fact.
Don't come for the Nintendo fans unless you want them to come for you, man. Be nice.
If they don't want to tell, if they want to at me and say
you are the biggest Switch advocate between the two of us.
That's true. I had a wonderful time. I do love my Switch.
I think modern Zeldas are
I'm
the best.
Hey, don't come for Nintendo fans, okay?
No.
Okay.
I said I think.
Oh, I see.
I think.
I do believe.
So if you come for me in the comments, you're being rude.
In my personal opinion, penguins exist. And if you wanted to make a penguin-like monster in a silhouette, you may end up with feet, fins, thinned arm, wings.
Yep.
And perhaps round eyes and a beak.
Yeah. All right. Cope. Pay the fine. Straight to jail. 3, 2, 1.
Cope.
Straight to jail.
Really?
I think this
you
is...
think this is a...
But they did the same eyes. They even look like you see this lighter blue section above the beak on Piplup? That looks like they just popped that off like a Lego piece and made it the tuft of hair on top.
But those are Sonic's eyes. That's how Sonic's eyes work.
It depends on which Sonic we're working with. Also, Sonic has big white portions of his eyes. And then we have are they connected or are they not connected? Because that was a big thing when they CGified Sonic for the Sonic movie. You have white, what I'm assuming is feathers here, and you have white feathers here that the eyes are set with inside. We're doing very vertical long ovals for the eyeballs. I think this is a fair one. I think this is a fair one to be like, come on, change the eyes up or something. I'm on the ovals because I didn't give myself that many degrees. This is a lighter straight to jail. Like maybe
you could pay a fine.
Maybe
instead.
a weekend in county lockup.
Okay,
yeah,
it's just a little
jail, not prison.
Yeah, a little slap on the wrists. I will agree that it does look like somebody didn't want to copy. And they put in a little bit of extra effort to they knew.
This is me taking my Spark notes and rearranging the sentence for my book report.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to avoid whatever it was we had in college. Nowadays, it's way more.
Now you just have AI do it for you. That's exactly what Pal World's being accused of.
There's what was the thing we put into the system, and if it came out all plagiarized after a certain percent.
Oh, I never had that.
College would.
I didn't have to write that many papers. I don't think they cared.
Oh, you had to paint a picture by midnight.
Yeah,
and so you would be.
Then I just in my master's we didn't do anything like that either.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the teachers are probably running it through something.
I didn't enter college with any college credits, so I had to do a lot of the remedial, perhaps you could say.
I mean, I didn't either. My bachelor's are from an art school, and there just weren't a lot of papers to write.
You didn't have to do English and math.
No, I mean, we had history classes, and there were papers that had to be written for that, but not that many.
I can school you in an Excel sheet layout. I'm pretty good at that.
I bet you can you help me with mine?
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
So I do agree that this does look like you were avoiding plagiarism by changing where the words were, slapping things around.
If there was a drawing version of that, of rearranging an existing sentence, that's what this feels like.
To know you alive, you bleed.
Yes.
And you throw that in a song and you're going to call it good.
Yeah. Oh, how many butt rock songs in the early 2000s had the word cold used?
Some words are just really easy to rhyme.
Yes.
So you throw them in because you can just hook up that.
That's why there's so many pop punk songs about rooftops.
Are there?
Yes, there's a lot.
You would know.
There are so many pop punk songs that reference rooftops.
But I've seen a hint of the next one, and it looks very unique. So I'm very curious about
the final one. We have Grintail, Pal, accused of looking a little bit too much like Galarian Meowth, which Galar came about in the Generation 8. So this is a variant of Meowth.
This is far more egregious.
I was about to say, I'm like, do you really need to think about this?
No, because I was making the Totoro statement earlier. Like, you got the Gatling one with the kind of the Totoro face and shape.
Yep.
And you kind of go, well, it happens, right? But this is...
This is 3, 2, 1, straight to jail.
Yeah, no,
that is the same damn eyes and mouth.
Well, yes.
They didn't even move the eyes and mouth. The mouth is not further away from the eyes. The eyes are not further apart from each other.
I think you should have put more effort into it.
Yes,
is really what it comes to.
Now, the rest of Grintail is shaped nothing like Meowth. This is a walking on all fours cat.
For the Pokemon version?
For the PAL version.
Oh, wait, but Meowth seems to be walking on all fours.
No, those are 2 legs and those are arms those are standing. That is a bipedal cat, just like Meowth is.
Oh, I thought you were saying Pal World was...
No, Grintail is on all fours.
Okay.
Galarian Meowth is on...
There is the episode of where Meowth joins the other Meowths who aren't burdened with his intelligence and tries to live as a Meowth.
We're getting into anime only there, buddy. Anime only.
You should have put more work into it. It's really...
Yes.
Like,
Some folks in chat are saying that's just a Cheshire Cat, but the Disney Cheshire Cat has straight teeth, don't they?
I believe they do.
Doesn't it?
That's what makes the mouth so otherworldly.
Disney Cheshire Cat. All I think about with Cheshire... Yeah, straight teeth. Straight teeth. Every time I think about that, I just think of the Blink-182 album by the same name.
And you got 3 bottom teeth, 4 top. Like, there's a certain amount of effort that should have been placed into changing this model.
They added an outline to the mouth. I almost said end eyes, but actually Galarian Meowth has an outline on the eyes, but not the mouth.
Yeah.
The mouth is just white teeth that stand out against the toned fur of Galarian Meowth.
Okay, your point stands.
Yeah, so this to me, this is the most damning evidence I've seen. But at the same time, I'm like, this just looks like a ripoff. I'm not even sure this is AI. Although there have been a lot of people that have been really pushing, I think, Midjourney to, they've been giving it prompts to do scenes from Marvel movies, and they have gotten straight up almost one-to-one cells from the actual films.
Right.
So
you give it enough limitations, it won't...
Basically proving that, yes, it is pulling from copyrighted material.
Exactly.
But there's been I don't want to get it over
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your game stands. It was a fabulous game.
This could... Whether this is AI or not, what are you doing? Fix this.
I think that'd be a fine update. You know?
The sorry about that. We don't want to get sued. Patch.
You don't have. Would you apologize to a teacher that called you out
for teaching?
Yeah,
or for stealing?
I used my example just a few moments ago as a real example. I was in a poetry part of English in 7th grade.
Okay,
and I included, because I'm an edgy teenager, "You bleed, just know you're alive." And the teacher was like, "Come on."
Did you use a Goo Goo Doll lyric?
Do it again. Yes. Because I like the line. You know? Because edgy teenager energies.
So you weren't just trying to get work done quickly.
I actually thought the line was beautiful and thought I could just put it in because it's sweet.
So I'm assuming the assignment was write your own damn poetry, not what are some lines you would like.
Exactly. And they said, "Can you change this?" Because we all know that this is from a song.
You went too far.
Yeah.
You went too far.
So I think the class move would be just say, "Here's our update. Here's our model update." And let the assumptions be made on the audience's part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And update this.
Yeah.
This part right here.
All right. So to close the longer than I ever thought it would take power discussion. Yeah. Let me turn this off. In closing, do you, Kyle, and chat, feel free to get in on this. Do you think Nintendo is going to get litigious?
I have no doubt that they have lawyers on it. I don't know. I don't know if laws exist across countries either.
They're both in Japan. Both studios are in Japan.
Oh. Well, then why not? Hell yeah. Yeah. You're doing half the work.
I think it's I think it'd be difficult but not impossible to make a case. You could pull up the Grintail and the Galarian Meowth and be like, "Your Honor."
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it would have happened already. I feel like it would have happened before it hit early access because they were being very open about
could be seen.
The style of the game. In promotional media, a lot of the pals have already been seen. So yeah, I feel like if it was going to happen, it would have already happened. Yes or no, Kyle? I want to plant your flag.
That's going to happen?
Yeah. Do you think it'll happen or not? Do you think they'll get litigious?
I think so.
Yeah.
But the Pokemon company is a weird company. This was Mario? Absolutely.
If there's a Koopa in here somewhere,
yeah,
they're just like, oh, no, you didn't.
Exactly.
But with Pokemon, they're like, we've got like 1,800 of these things.
We don't even know what
we have.
Yeah.
I think it's just
we're not even sure.
Don't even remember what they drew.
We're scraping the barrel right now. Who is that guy? What the hell is a Garlean Meowth? How did this happen?
I believe that's from the most recent games. I think Gen 8 is the most
maybe
recent
they'll remember Gen 8's
mainline
incursions.
Gen. Is that correct? Am I right on that, chat? Or chat's going to be like, what are you talking about? We're on 18. I don't know. I haven't kept up. We're on Gen 9. Okay, so Gen 8 relatively recent. Yeah, and it's Galarian, not Garlean. I would like to see a Garlean Meowth though. I would like to see
wearing
it.
the mask.
Yeah, no, there's a Galar region. And so there's Pokemon that have existed before, but they look different, and so they're monikered as Galarian to explain why they look different.
They made a whole world of Pokemon that looks slightly different than the normal Pokemon. Oh man, this is too many layers deep.
That's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
Wait till I tell you that they have shiny Pokemon, Kyle.
I've heard about this. I'm aware.
Wait till Kyle learns about shiny Pokemon, everybody.
That is I'm over 30. I do not possess.
Oh my goodness. I wish you were here during the Pokemon Go explosion. That would have been some fun content to make.
I did not. Well, it was also very spread out. I didn't have a phone that could do it, so I was not a fan of Pokemon Go.
We would have gotten that.
And all the eggs.
So we have so much support.
The incubators.
We would have figured it out.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, let's do what we came here to do, which was talk about what happened over our break. Which we still don't have a bumper for what we've been watching. We probably should make one.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, we should probably. You want to try a crack? You used to make all our bumpers.
I did. Yeah, I'll see what I can cook up. Yeah.
That's a problem though. You don't watch anything except anime.
I watched. I really want to watch Godzilla -1.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
We are getting the black and white release for 1 week.
I rewatched I guess you'd call it the Bryan Cranston one.
That is a North American joint.
It's not great.
It's not bad though either.
I kind of like the bugs.
It's not as bad as the Matthew Broderick vehicle.
Oh, that one I have a special place in my heart.
I mean, I do too because I was an idiot kid.
Yeah, and I didn't really know Godzilla. It got me interested.
I did know Godzilla, and I still enjoyed it at the time because I was like, I understood that it was a different thing.
No, the most egregious thing about the Cranston one is that they all kind of know in a meta knowledge that's Godzilla.
The most egregious thing is that Cranston is in like 5 minutes of that movie.
Yes, he was in the trailer.
He's like the best thing about it, and he's barely in it.
They very much Oblivion or Bethesda'd it.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I don't even like Oblivion, and I know the reference you're making.
Check out this famous person.
Hey, Patrick Stewart.
Oh, they're dead.
Yeah, we got him for 1 hour.
Which great little, and you get to hang out with Sean Bean a lot more. So you do hang out with Sean Bean quite a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. He wasn't as huge, which is weird because it was post Lord of the Rings. Anyway,
the Cranston thing that was trailer clickbait. That was a bad thumbnailage on their part.
Yes.
However, the real problem with that Godzilla movie is that everyone is slightly meta aware that Godzilla's maybe a good guy, and like there's constantly this like background thought in everyone's mind of like, well, maybe we should like let him try.
Neither of us have watched Godzilla, so I don't know why Kyle is still talking about it.
Sorry.
But yes, we're going to talk about what we watched first, then we're going to get into what we played over the break.
Okay.
And then we're going to take a few questions and wrap this up.
Well, I did watch Godzilla, was what I was bringing up. Anyway.
You watched Godzilla -1?
No. I watched the old Godzilla. Never mind. Anyway, first up, what did you watch over the break?
So much anime.
Okay.
So much anime. I also caught up on What We Do in the Shadows, which I'm officially saying it has usurped it has taken the top spot of my favorite television comedy ever.
Oh my goodness.
It is my favorite television comedy.
What was previous?
30 Rock.
Oh, wow.
I love 30 Rock. I was for a very long time an Office hater. Katie loves The Office. couple years ago, finally saw The Office all the way through. The Office is actually good. It is a good television show. Got a lot of heart. Surprisingly well written. I don't even hate the final couple seasons without Michael Scott like so many people appear to. However, I still think Parks and Rec is better. 30 Rock is better. Scrubs is better. I'm in that camp. I like my live action TV comedy. But for a long time, 30 Rock is my favorite. What We Do in the Shadows. I'd seen the movie. I knew the show existed. I just was like, I've got too many shows in my life. I'm not going to watch this. Katie and I were bored one night. We put on the first episode, and we were just like, we were in tears laughing. And I turned to her and I said, why haven't we watched this? It seems like a show that was made just for you and me.
Have you seen the movie before?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I said that like 5 seconds ago.
Sorry, I was paying attention to the other information.
It's okay. I'm sure somebody was. It was more for the one person going, Kylie said that, than it was to chide you. Want to let you know, dear listener, you're not crazy. But yeah,
I mean, it's different, obviously, different actors.
It is,
but it has that guy, and I love that guy and his voice.
Oh, it's not Jackie Daytona. I forget his real name. And Jackie Daytona is only one episode.
Jackie Daytona. It's like everything he says.
Regular human bartender.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah, he is. His normal character name is Laszlo, and his real name is Matt Berry.
Matt Berry.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Way Too Late TV.
Gotta love Matt Berry.
Love Matt Berry. Yes. One of my favorite comedic actors of all time.
So normally you are the live action viewer, but you've been dabbling.
I watched a ton of anime. An absolute, for me, a metric shit ton of anime. So I should have written these down.
Oh.
But we got back on Spy X Family because you and I did the commentary track. And once we cracked the seal on that, Katie and I are now up to date.
It was also very linear, so it was easy to kind of
watched
binge.
All the way through to the end of the cruise arc in the same week.
Yeah.
And then we paused because we're like, oh, I see there's only a few more episodes. Let's wait till more come out. I was unaware that they had already hit their mid-season break. So a couple nights ago, we watched the rest.
Super cute.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why they're terrified of ending on something of meat. Substance, yes. The first season is just like a throwaway episode as the final episode. It doesn't make me miss the show. Here's a filler episode, and that's the end of the season.
It's just a mid-season.
Like, why didn't you end on like the 3-part tennis epic? Like that series, that arc of episodes is fantastic.
Interesting.
It's something I find weird about anime like this. They seem to just, as someone who hates cliffhangers generally, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite here, but I find it weird. And if we're at a mid-season break, it's like, okay, we just kind of had like a throwaway school episode.
It's kind of a return to norm in that way, like sets the tone for what will come next time after the height of the cruise.
They're just not my favorite episode. And the cruise arc is my favorite thing that's happened in the show so far. I think for me, already Spy X Family Season 2 blows Season 1 out of the water.
Oh, you actually got to see.
I am so smitten by Season 2.
Yeah, you actually got to see, her assassinate some stuff.
Yeah, if you didn't listen to our commentary track, we opened, like the opening seconds, we went, the worst thing about Season 1, they kind of forgot Yor's an assassin. And the opening shot is Yor just murdering. It's just a room full of people. And we're like, oh, hey, maybe this will be the Yor season.
Next episode.
And so far, it really is. Because the cruise arc is very much a Yor arc. And yeah, I think Yor is just to me the coolest character, and I want more Yor missions.
Yeah,
Anya's my favorite character. Yor is the coolest character.
I've got a serious. I've got the dub. I've got one of those dub complaints.
You're a walking dub complaint.
I know.
Kyle is a dub complaint.
Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
All the time.
There are voices that are in my head from my childhood, like Yu-Gi-Oh! That, Joey's, like.
What's your problem with the Spy X Family dub?
Who's your man? What's his name?
The
Midnight.
dad?
Midnight, right?
What?
Twilight.
Lloyd?
Lloyd, yes. Terribly uninteresting in English. Lacks charisma.
Oh.
He's way more sexy and sultry in Japanese.
I think he's quite sexy in the show.
Oh, well, it's again, it's on.
And
spectrum.
I think he sells when he's flummoxed because he's always flummoxed in his inner monologue or in his inner dialogue, but never on his outer. Yeah. And I think the dub actor does a really good job at differentiating the two.
I think they do all right.
Yeah.
But I think you might like Lloyd
disagree.
more.
I wouldn't because I can't fucking read the show. It's too fast.
I think you might know why Lloyd's biting
tried.
those gloves.
I've told
and
the story.
Statues.
I've tried this. the boner statue.
Yes, the very one.
I'm not telling anyone to go and Google erection Lloyd statue,
Yes.
but it does exist.
It does exist.
I was trying to find a Rebecca statue from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's one of my favorite characters to come out of an anime in recent memory, and I'm like, man, I would love a Rebecca statue. Ended up on a website that has a really cool Rebecca statue that isn't completely pornographic, but they do have other statues that are completely pornographic.
Of course.
And one was Lloyd. I was like, oh shit, this is a cool statue. And then I'm like, why is there a zoom in on his crotch? And I'm like, oh no.
It's the last time I'll do it to you today. I promise.
What, the dub complaint?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, I mean, if you can read that fast, more to you, but I didn't know what was happening on screen because I was so focused. They talked too fast in that show.
Yeah. As you can tell, I have retention issues because I don't even remember his name. So
yeah, boy, what a wonderful,
what a wonderful watching experience I have.
You're a really good poster child for subs not dubs.
I got context. I got context clues.
I actually got to see the show.
I'm writing those context clues.
I could actually.
What else
enjoy
did you
the show.
watch?
Yeah, so Spy X Family is wonderful. One of my favorite animes right now. We have a couple episodes left because that's also on a mid-season break. MF Ghost, the Initial D sequel.
Sure, naturally.
Which
like your cars.
Katie and I quite enjoyed. I don't think Katie or I am particularly sensitive to sexist gender tropes, but Initial D definitely has sexist gender tropes.
Well, that one from the 90s, wasn't it? Like that?
Yeah. I can never remember. I think it's the live action. I don't think the anime is actually as bad, but the live action, which is my only favorite anime live action adaptation because it's about the cars and they got the cars. You're not a car guy, but Initial D, the original run, the car, it is the most famous Japanese sports cars basically ever made. Every car in that show. They're legends. And for the live action adaptation, they actually got those cars that fills out the whole thing. But at the end, I don't think this is the end of the anime. It's been a while since I watched the anime, but in the live action show, the big like reveal is that his love interest is a prostitute, and the big climax is he tells her she's like worthless and like leaves her. And I'm like, all right, that's setting off all my alarms. Like that's just shitty. Okay. So like I don't consider myself to be a person who's as sensitive to that type of stuff, but I remember getting to the end there and being like, I don't remember if that's how the anime ends, but damn. That does not age well. And it's the same writer for MF Ghost, and I'm here to tell you it is cringy and almost entertaining ways from a really out of date perspective on gender.
Okay.
Yeah. It's still a pretty rad car show. But like I was so cringed out that I'm like, surely it can't be the same writer because that man would be older and will have grown up a little.
Yeah.
Nope, same dude. Yeah. So if you have it in you to find humor from the perspective of you probably shouldn't write things this way, I'd recommend it.
Great need to put that pen to paper and
man.
Share those thoughts.
I don't know, because I'm not opposed to eye candy. I'm just usually in the camp of, hey, also have some eye candy dudes for people that prefer eye candy dudes. The show Spartacus I think you should watch is wonderful at that, by the way. Warning, Kristen will want you to work on your upper body if you watch Spartacus with her.
Yeah, no. Too late.
I didn't know that, so that wasn't
No, the recent problem was Jaffer's art of Val Gaunt was rather chesty. And she was like, all right, when the pull-up bar shows up, you're back to it.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. This is like there's some, I don't know. It's over the line because like I think Kill la Kill's hilarious and it's like it knows what it's doing.
Well, the guy got a ball in his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And there's plenty of like naked dudes and dudes in like body thongs and like it's all for comedy and knows exactly what it's doing and it's kind of like the point of the show. Whereas I'm watching MF Ghost and I'm just distracted by the close-up panty shot because I'm here for
power.
I'm here for a race.
Because it's an alien Spoiler alert for 2012 or something, but you know.
And I love Fast and Furious, and they're guilty of it too, but not to the extent that this show does it. But we're just.
I'm sorry for your loss.
We're still watching it. We're still finding enough enjoyment out of it. Because Katie's car, the car she drives, is the new hero car.
Right.
The car she actually has. It's a GT86. She has a Scion FRS, which was the American release of the GT86. So she's just like, yeah, my car's the hero. And also the 3D doesn't look like absolute ass now because it's. But after that, we cracked the seal on Free Ren. And oh my God, y'all. I'm not here to recommend that you watch MF Ghost and then you watch Free Ren, but I will say that if that's what you do, you're going to be like,
a little bit of whiplash.
I noticed budget differences in the anime that I consume because Free Ren makes MF Ghost look like I made MF Ghost.
Free Ren is beautiful music as well.
Yes.
I really like the music.
Yes. Yes, dude. Yes. Oh my God. By the way, I only watched 2 episodes and it was last night. I watched Gundam Witch of Mercury. The music in Gundam Witch from Mercury is amazing.
Nice.
Absolutely amazing. I haven't thought about music in anime in a long time. Because most of the time I feel like it just kind of recedes into the background.
Well, the vast majority of our upbringing, it was canned repeat.
Yeah.
Play it again.
And like Spy X Family, like it has it really does have a personality, but it's not music I would ever like put on.
Jazz? Is it
Yes,
jazz?
it is
It's
jazzy.
got a lot of personality.
Classic Spy sounding stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing I would listen to. I would listen to the Free Ren soundtrack. I would listen to the Gundam Witch from Mercury soundtrack. It's really probably just because I'm exposing myself to more stuff and finding stuff. But Free Ren is I think my favorite anime of like the last 10 years.
Wow.
I think it's a masterpiece, and I am definitely overhyping it for everybody in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
I am a problem with Free Ren right now.
I want to watch it every passing moment.
Do you?
Well, yeah, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all about popping off. Like, it's all the popping off. And, you know, like, I thought I made a grand discovery for myself. I watched the first 2 episodes. Chris and I were very critical. Because we had just finished Jujutsu Kaisen, which was a masterpiece, in my opinion. It's amazing.
Need to get back on that.
Freaking amazing.
Need to get back on that. But Free Ren is like so my jam.
We got past one of the deaths that just like, because I read the manga, because I was like, I can't wait. I got to keep reading. I got in the manga. One of my favorite characters dies. I'm like, put this slam down phone, walk away. Like, that was beautiful. Well done, but I'm done. I'm mad at you.
No wonder you like Final Fantasy 14.
How dare you do this because no one dies?
They never kill anybody.
Yeah. So I got past that. You know, we stocked episode. I'm just like, I'm gonna plow through the part I don't like because it's beautiful and it's sad and I don't like it. And keep going. And it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. So we entered Free Ren.
Yep.
It looks like Friends, so I always get confused. The word looks like Friends, and someone gave up halfway.
When I first looked at it, I was like, I have no idea how to pronounce this.
Yeah.
And thank God in the first episode, they say her name like 72 times.
Yeah, again, you know, my retention.
Yeah.
With the Japanese language. So
well, wouldn't Free Ren still be Free Ren in Japanese?
Yeah, it is, but I don't retain much because I'm too busy reading. My ears turn off.
You subtitle enjoying superiority
right,
over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
tell me the narrative if you love your subtitle so much.
We of course got in there and we're like, well, what's the point? You know, like, oh, she's meeting up with someone just like her. This is going to be boring. Oh no, that means the kid they're going to meet in the intro, he's going to be like really loud to make up for how boring these 2 characters are. Oh, geez, we're not.
You must have felt very vindicated when he was in fact loud.
Well, we haven't met him yet.
Oh, he is kind of loud.
But,
I guess you know what? No, I don't think I would categorize him as loud.
But before you foam, before anyone gets mad at me, in episode 2 we went, oh, it's cozy.
Oh,
it's cozy.
Oh, I was about. I had a dunk on you
because there was you know, and I was in episode 1, and Kristen's like, I don't know if this is going anywhere. I'm like, now hold on, she's an elf. We could do some like time.
How did you
jumps.
find the only other person in this world to marry that's also allergic to characters?
We sensed each other across the room in improv class. It was just
how did you find the only other person who went to school for acting and hates character-focused fiction?
No, that's what we were worried about, is that it wasn't. It was just going to be some fart off. But then, you know, the time jump started.
I realize I'm essentially engaging now in argument about a show you are admitting you enjoyed.
Exactly.
But I feel you just glazed over like the opening salvo. Like those first 2 episodes, I think, are beautiful.
Well,
you went straight to, she picks up an apprentice that's too similar to her. And I'm like, the point of the show is that they're playing with the long lifespan of elves. And she's getting into her second great adventure, and when she was flippant about her first great adventure, and that's making her look back and find her humanity, even though she's an elf.
Well, remember, when people sell me things, they go for the jugular. They go for exactly what they think I'd like.
I've just given up trying to sell you with things.
And one of the first things they were like is like, Kyle, you got to watch this. It's finally an accurate representation of elves. And I was like, well, you should be doing this anyway. This is step one to making an interesting elf. I'm not impressed.
But nothing else has done it. You should give it some credit.
But no, if you sit down at a role-playing table and you're going to pretend to be an elf, I expect you to mess with the longevity a little bit and be interesting.
Not only are you an insufferable subtitle watcher, an insufferable DM.
Oh, the elves, for the most part, the elves in Lord of the Rings are kind of bad in terms of their longevity. Like, Agent Smith does a fine job, but Breathy McBretherson, she does not.
Well, she's young.
She does not.
She's a younger elf. She's not the same age as her father. That's her father.
Yeah. No, true, but Lord of the Rings doesn't do as good of a job as I would even say Free Ren does.
I would argue that well, I guess, no, Legolas is old, right?
Yes.
How old is Legolas? Because he's older than...
He's quite old.
Than Arwen. I don't know, I'm not...
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I am 100% certain there's probably 100 people in our chat room right now that are deeper into the Tolkien stuff than we are.
A side note, the screen still has this, so I can't see him, but I can see that chat moving faster as I speak. So it all works out. No, so there were many reasons why the barriers were already going up.
Okay.
As people told me things that seem very basic to me, like, well, yes, an elf should have longevity, and that should be step one to being interesting. However, when the time jumps, because the first time jump's expected. That's just time jumps, you're pulling a fast one on the audience by having the thing that could be the most cool already happen. Well, good. We got to get to the part that's interesting again. Otherwise, it's going to be one boring ass show. So the first time jump, we completely ignore because we're like, well, yeah, let's get to some stuff. And then not a lot of stuff's happening. But I was the good person.
Because it's character focused.
I told Kristen here, I was like, hold on. It's an elf. We could do some really interesting time jumps. And it started up and we met the priest and he was kind of interesting. And then we haven't had a couch. So a show we have identified as cozy and I really want to watch, I have zero interest in watching something that's cozy when I don't even own a couch
you can't
yet.
be cozy
Yeah,
yourself.
well, I'm entirely uncozy in this current phase
The
of my
opening
life.
salvo is certainly cozy.
And see, that's dangerous too. Because, by episode 10, it's popping off.
The first hour of Lord of the Rings is cozy.
Yeah. Well, no, it's danger. The world's full of danger.
You're hanging out in the Shire.
Yeah, but we're going to ruin that.
Some horses with hoods show up, and then they have a talk about vegetables.
I also know what's going to happen, right? Like that's like what was it like watching Star Wars for the first time? I don't know. It was just on in the background, and I played with
Star Wars
toys.
is a thing that has always existed for me.
Exactly.
I've always known Vader was Luke's dad.
And Lord of the Rings is very much, my memory has faded to the point where it's just kind of always been because that's how I got into D&D. Is I wanted to play D&D, but I didn't know what it was, and I saw Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta play D&D.
I remember the first time I saw Lord of the Rings. I remember thinking it was kind of boring until the Mines of Moria.
So I would say,
but now what I'm saying to you, what I'm trying to finish this thought, the whole reason I brought that up is I used to think Lord of the Rings was boring up until Mines of Moria, but now my favorite part of Lord of the Rings is like that first hour of Fellowship. I love just the world building.
Yeah.
And so because good worlds and good world building make you want to live in that world. And the first hour of Lord of the Rings are people literally just living in that world. Here's what it's like to live in the Shire. Here's what it's like for patrons of the Prancing Pony to just go to their local watering hole every night. So I love that kind of shit. I like melancholy. I like watching different characters experience grief. I have never seen a piece of media that has focused in on how elves process grief, like how Free Ren in its opening.
But you're focusing on
episodes
media. What I'm talking about is Dungeons and Dragons. If you show up to my table with an elf and you're not playing with the...
And I will say, if you're going to bring what you want for your personal D&D table into this conversation, I'm checking out.
Sure.
Like, that's literally your creation. Good for you.
Just as
I'm
much
talking about other creations.
Absolutely. And I understand that. And that is why I have, in this way, I'm sure I've upset many people. But I will agree that it's a very good
pretty. I mean, there's some shut your mouth, but I think there's like emojis with it. So I think
it's more the joy of they want me to get to the part where I liked it already, and I do like it. I'm in a profoundly uncozy part of my life, and while it may pop off at episode 10 or whatever,
I think 8.
There
was 8.
The hipster part of me is roaring hard because the love of the show is unfathomable. People love this show. And I've got questions.
I'm mad at you because I was sold from the beginning, and I'm actually a little concerned with the action orientation the show appears to be going, because I was kind of here for a more...
I agree. I'm concerned about that too, hearing about
deeper, more emotional anime.
Yeah,
than,
particularly with how well the animation and music
it's
is.
what I wanted. I think what I wanted from Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer is a little too formulaic for me.
Demon Slayer is also like a scream fiesta. Like
that orange-haired character ruined the show for me.
Do you think he can decapitate him? Because I'm not sure anymore. It could happen. I don't know, man. It could happen.
I hate that character.
I'm still gonna
so
freaking
much.
watch it. Because
I'll get back to it eventually, because I really like the two main characters. Katie loves the sister too, and it's hard to get Katie into an anime. And she's like, "Oh, I like this demon sister. That's fantastic."
There's some good sisters.
We'll get back to it, but
in the future.
Oh, damn orange-haired dude, you suck.
Yeah,
you're the worst. I hate you the way I hated Shinji when I was 13.
I think a lot of people have entered that phase of Demon Slayer of sunk cost fallacy, and I don't mean it in like it's so often used in like a profoundly money kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a Crunchyroll or a Hulu. Like I'm not invested in terms of funds.
So I think that's all the anime I watched.
But I am gonna finish Demon Slayer. Damn it! I've been through this much already. I'm gonna see it through. Same with. I'm gonna do my taxes while I watch Deku get another power, but I'm gonna finish that godforsaken thing.
I've heard the movies are good, so I want to get invested enough that I care to watch a movie.
Yeah,
that's where I want to get with Demon Slayer. But at this point, I've got Free Run, which I feel like was made for me. As a guy, it wasn't the first anime I ever watched, but like I think I became an anime fan, or considered myself an anime fan, after I rented two things from Blockbuster, because I was already watching Dragon Ball Z and I was already watching the Pokemon anime because they were on like UPN in the morning or whatever the channel was. But I went to Blockbuster and I sought out Princess Mononoke and Record of Lotus War. And that's when I would consider myself an anime fan and not just a fan of whatever happened to be on TV. And Free Run gives me such massive falling in love with fantasy anime at a young age vibes. Also, the animation is legitimately great, and it is mostly traditional. And I'm just not used to seeing it. I never thought I would see an anime look like this again. I thought we were just getting too budget conscious.
Yeah.
And it's straight up the best looking show I've seen, and I can't remember when.
No, there's a profound amount of like traditional ass rotoscoping going on, and it feels fresh.
It's so fucking pretty.
Yeah.
Sorry for the F-bombs, but I really like this.
No, dude.
I really like the show.
I do not detract at all from that. There have been many, many times in my life, like the Castlevania. Remember when I came back and I was like, holy shit, Castlevania is actually really good. Yeah. Sometimes I start off a property on the wrong foot.
That's another one that has really good animation. But Free Run just it has that to me, it has that retro look that to me is synonymous with quality. And like, it's not, I just never thought things would look like this again. They even kind of have that kind of pale background. It almost feels like they're letting the paper through. It's part of the reason I love Fully Cooley so much. You see it in the sky of a lot of 80s and 90s anime. It's probably still digital, but you can still traditionally animate with digital. I would be very surprised if they're actually using paint on paper, but it has that look. God damn, I love it. I love it so much. It's what made me give a shit about anime in the first place.
Well, if you love a traditional looking piece of work, might I recommend?
Yeah, that Kyle, he's a real piece of work.
A movie that I watched called Your Name. It was actually really cute.
Oh, my laptop is dying because we're taking too long.
Okay.
Let me pull this up because I think I have it bookmarked. Oh, yes. I have this bookmarked on my whatever HBO Max is called now.
Go?
I think it's just called Max.
Oh, the Max? Yeah, you're going to watch it on the Mac?
Gorgeous.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
And it touches, an emotional state of being young, lonely, and soulmate kind of energy that is very impressive for like an hour and a half.
Sweet. You're selling me on it. Because it's like, I would like that for a mature relationship, because Fully Cooley is that it just reminds me of going through puberty.
Yes.
And being into girls for the first time and being horribly flummoxed and socially awkward and full of feelings that I can't describe. And that's why I love Fully Cooley, because it just it fires me up and makes me want to be young again. But I would love to experience something that was maybe a little more mature.
It's still pretty young. I mean, middle schoolers, I think.
Oh, okay. But if it's a healthy relationship.
Yeah, it's...
Because most Fully Coolly very much... it is a cautionary tale of toxic
so
relationships.
Different, comparing the two and the angst and all that.
Here's how you know you shouldn't be with someone.
Yeah. No, it was extremely fresh and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It even has an intro, it's a series, there's a montage, it's a strange movie because you're watching, you're like, oh, here's the anime intro in the middle of a movie. What the crap is going on here?
Sometimes you just want to do it.
There's even a montage in the middle of it, and you're like, hey, this is 2 hours long. Why are we?
I wouldn't be against it. Chat, would you like more intro? I love James Bond intros, man. More movies should have intros. Let's go.
Yeah?
I love a good James Bond intro.
That's true. Yeah, James Bond intros can be fun.
How many times can you make an innuendo with a gun silhouette? Let's do it.
True.
Yeah.
So that was the extent. And that's when my couches were put in the pod, and I have not watched anything of value since then.
Nice. So we both went very different directions.
Yeah.
Except you still watched something of substance that really kind of hit you in your emotional core, it seems
Yeah, but Jujutsu Kaisen was just insane.
That'll be next. Although I got bit by that Gundam bug watching Witch of Mercury last night. The animation's very nice. There is a lot of 3D, which I don't love, but they use it pretty well. And after free rent, I'm not making excuses for 3D anymore. I'm like, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. And when you do it, it can be supremely subtle. Because free rent's 3D. Holy shit, you can barely tell it's there.
They do, yeah. They do good work.
Yes, they do. It is seamless. Almost seamless. You haven't got a dragon yet. A couple shots with a dragon. I'm like, okay, you're 3D. I'll give it to you.
Big stuff.
I'll give it to you. So what have we been playing? What'd you play over the break?
Wait,
hold on. I have a thing for that.
Yeah, plus that.
Choose your character.
It's so loud in these headphones while I'm monitoring. Oh my god.
I finally beat Liza P, which was kind of disappointing because it was a memorization fight.
Oh,
and then the game just ends.
Boo.
Because it's the final boss. But it had 2 phases, which isn't that bad. But it was a surprise final boss. And you could actually skip it. There was a button that said, I want this to end now. And I'll take the bad ending. And I'll skip this boss.
Which, not in your house.
No, hell, Souls-like?
Kristen would disown you.
Yeah, I'd be out. Absolutely. No, that's not true. But I would be ridiculed, much like skipping the Dark Souls 2 DLC for the rest of my days.
All right.
So it was a memorization fight. You had to memorize both phases. He did so much damage that you couldn't block through it because it would break your weapon eventually. So there was no cheese allowed. It was basically you will play my game or else.
Okay.
And I memorized every block. I did that dance perfect, and I beat the game and was like, oh, it
is
just
that what's
ended.
going on?
Yeah, and if spoiler alert for the stinger at the end, if anyone would like to know, they made a promise that they're gonna do Dorothy next in the final shot. Red Slippers came out and clicked.
Dorothy? Oh wait, Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, no
Why?
place like home.
Why?
Because they did Pinocchio.
Are they connected?
I mean, it's like a fantasy world.
Guess we're just doing fairy tale. I don't think of Wizard of Oz in the same fairy tale camp as Pinocchio.
No, but Pinocchio didn't have zombies and
That's
technomancers and stuff,
but...
so...
Okay.
So they promised they're doing Dorothy next.
Let me know when they do Alice, because I remember being a kid thinking that with American McGee's Alice was like the coolest looking thing ever, and then you actually played it, and it played like ass.
Yeah.
So...
No, that'd be... I'd love an Alice in Wonderland. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it was an excellent game through and through. I'm sad the final fight took me literally months because I've been so busy to memorize out and actually plow through.
Oh, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. I got into the Remedyverse, which I've been teasing like crazy.
Yep.
Control is now one of my new all-time favorite games. I loved Control. Alan Wake 1 is one of the worst controlling games I have ever had the misfortune of trying to play.
It's
I gave
ancient.
up. I gave up. I watched a recap. Love the story.
I don't blame you.
Super into the characters. Super into the story. Love how Remedy tells stories. I love their use of FMV. I think it's fantastic.
I believe, because I played it, and then Kristen played it. We played it through together, and we played it right after playing Silent Hill 2. I was like, oh, you gotta play Silent Hill 2. So she played that, and then we went into... So our brain was in like the Xbox era bad lock camera controls. So
Wasn't like it was third person.
No, but Alan Wake felt fresh after that.
And to me, that was the golden age of like third person. That's when we had Gears of War, which I loved. And I guess the gen before that, we had Resident Evil 4, which is one of the best third-person shooters of all time. And now we've had, and now I find myself, so I'm in the middle playing Alan Wake 2. And while it's light years better than Alan Wake 1 in terms of how it controls, I do find myself thinking it's still kind of mid from a gameplay perspective, because we've had both the Dead Space and the Resident Evil 4 remakes, and they are triumphs of third-person controls.
Well, yes.
And Alan Wake 2 is just okay.
You're not alone in that statement.
Just serviceable third-person
they're
combat.
literally remakes, and and the previous ones had better third-person. Lots of people have made this comparison.
Yeah, RE4 and Dead Space were the best third-person shooters of their age, and they are once again the best third-person shooters of this age, in my opinion. I find the combat in Alan Wake 2 just kind of mid.
But you just kind of grabbed onto Control. That one
Control,
was the one that really
Control, funnily enough, controls exceptionally well. The controls, I think, are so much fun to play Control in a way that it made it, I think I'm also comparing Alan Wake 2 to Control, where I was like, oh, I felt empowered and I felt capable. I felt horribly lethal and like I could do anything. And in Alan Wake 2, you're probably the least capable character in the history of video games because you're a writer.
Which is weird because it's made by the same studio that made Max
Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to a buddy of mine. This is off the cuff. Do not quote me on any of this, y'all. But I was talking to a buddy of mine who's in game dev. And he's like, oh, well, Sam Lake, while he was in charge of story on Control, didn't have the input in the gameplay that he had on the Alan Wake games. And he's wondering if that had something to do with it.
Interesting.
And I don't know. I don't know the details. I haven't gone in and verified any of that. This is me just having a conversation with my buddy. So I don't know how that all stacks up. And it should be, but also like you also play a FBI agent in Alan Wake 2, and I'm like, well, she should kick ass.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But they both just kind of control the same.
Interesting.
And it's also, I think Alan Wake 2 is like weirdly hard, but I don't like the gameplay enough to get good.
Right.
And that's the issue I'm having with Alan Wake 2. Absolutely adore the story. I'm not even done, and I'm dying to see what happens next.
Do you feel like the difficulty and even bad controls or whatever it is that's kind of holding you back with Alan Wake 2 is adding to the sense of dread or incapableness of the character?
Well, then I think it's weird that the FBI agent also controls the same way as Alan Wake.
Well, they're just human. You're fighting.
Yeah, but
ghosts.
but one should probably be pretty well trained with firearms, and the other, maybe goes and shoots every once in a while. Because I think in Alan Wake 1, it's established he owns a handgun. He's a gun owner.
Right.
So you probably assume he practices at least a few times a year. But compare that to what is probably asked of an FBI agent in terms of staying up on your firearms training.
And if we're role-playing that hard, he should be better at shooting the gun by the end of the game than it feels in the beginning.
I'm also putting forward, it could have been a little more interesting to differentiate the two in their combat prowess, because you do have two characters. So they have them both just kind of play this. They both have a flashlight. They both have a handgun. They both have a shotgun you can miss, and I missed freaking Alan Wake's shotgun and it made it even harder. You can... If you consider game mechanics a spoiler, but yeah, you can just skip the shotgun entirely, and I would not recommend it because the game is surprisingly difficult.
Did you make it to the stage in Alan Wake 1, the rock stage?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was charming.
I heard it was very good. Control has an amazing musical moment, and so does, and I've seen the musical moment in Alan Wake 2.
We all have now.
If you watch the Game Awards, it's better in game. I think the Game Awards
emulated it well.
It was good, and it was very cool to see everyone who's actually the FMV actors reprise their roles for the Game Awards performance. It was very cool, but it was made for a video game for a reason, and it's much more interactive in the game. It was very cool. The way Remedy does music stuff. We're getting into mechanics of the game, which I'm a little more critical of, but these are some of the best stories I've ever seen told in a video game.
Damn,
they're absolutely phenomenal. And in a way, I was drawn in because my friends who know that I like Twin Peaks were like, what are you doing with your life? Go play Alan Wake. Run, do not walk. Play Alan Wake if you like Twin Peaks. And while some of it is like a one-to-one, like, oh, you really, damn, Sam Lake, you must really like Twin Peaks, because the diner in Alan Wake 1 and 2, it makes a reappearance of 2, is like a one-to-one copy of the diner location from Twin Peaks. Like the island triple-sided counter
Some fan service there.
It's basically the Twin Peaks diner.
Go straight to jail.
There's in Alan Wake 1, I haven't seen it in 2, there's a meeting room with a long table in the sheriff's station. Same damn thing in Alan Wake 1 from Twin Peaks. Like, it's identical, basically. And so at first, with Alan Wake 1, I'm like, are you just kind of doing a knockoff, or you have your own story to tell? They have their own story to tell, but also in spirit, it's very Twin Peaks. You haven't seen Twin Peaks, but they want they leave a lot up to audience interpretation intentionally. It's supposed to be this kind of etheric experience. It's not about like hard lore, even though there is a lot of hard lore. There's like Twin Peaks books that goes even deeper into shit that I don't care about, but you can go on a wiki and read about what the ring in Twin Peaks means. But I like experiencing it I don't like looking up what the ending of Twin Peaks season 1 means. Like I've got my own read on it, and I don't think it's meant to have a correct interpretation.
I feel that way about Aliens.
And I think Alan Wake and Control, while there is clearly canon events, there's still a lot of things around the edges that I think are ephemeral, and I really like it. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's like very different storytelling than going through the narrative of Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes, the pacing and all that too would be quite fresh and done on your own time during the holidays.
Yes, it's what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word that David Lynch, who made Twin Peaks, uses for it. Then I'm struggling with it. Folks, anyone got me here?
Not mystery box.
It's the polar opposite of J.J. Abrams. I bet if you put J.J. Abrams and David Lynch in the same room, David Lynch would physically accost J.J. Abrams.
I think a lot of people might.
Yeah, surreal's a good way to do it. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's not all on face value. There's a famous interview with David Lynch, and I can't remember what he said, but he gave an answer to a question, and the interviewer goes, "Could you elaborate on that?" And he goes, "No." And that's all you need to know about David Lynch and how he feels like you should interpret his work.
Well, naturally, just like Free Ren, my hipster bones are vibrating because I'm like, oh, I bet I'll like Alan Wake too. I bet I'll like it.
I think you would like it. But
we also play a lot of like Crimson Butterfly, kind of like Fatal Frame, just a lot of weird survival horror games.
Yeah, I don't think Alan Wake 2 is particularly scary. There's jump scares, which I am in the camp of. I think jump scares are cheap, and you don't need them. And I kind of respect you less when you do them. And I feel this way of horror movies. Is one of my least favorite things with the Conjuring films. They are good enough. They are better than jump scares. They should stop doing them.
I agree.
But I will say the ones in Alan Wake 2 are pretty effective. But beyond that, I don't think it's a scary game.
Okay.
For me. Everyone's sensibilities are different. But to me, Alan Wake 2 is not that scary.
Well, after I lost my couches, I have been up to one more thing.
Okay.
Warhammer 40K.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's playing. So, yeah.
You could call it that if it's mostly just reading wikis. Because that's what I've had. So, I think every parent wants a little bit of props sometimes. We put in a lot of work. It can be hard. And a move is really big, and making sure everybody's happy. Also, third trimester pregnant wife, like, I'm in the thick of it. I'm going gung-ho. I'm dadding my brains out. And bedtimes are long. And you can't play a game in there, but you know what you can do sometimes while you walk a baby? For an hour straight while they're having that, milestone of losing a nap, you can sneak up that phone and in dark mode read a little bit of Warhammer 40K lore. And you can text your friend about how interested you are in Warhammer 40K without an inch of time to spend on it.
Yeah.
And so...
Watch this be my next famous, I'm sure as shit never, but I can't think of lore I am less interested in than 40K.
Well, here's the interesting thing about it.
Because I know it's so deep, and I know it has such an established fan base that I have to imagine they're very mean to newcomers.
I'm naturally, I haven't experienced it. I'm not. My first reaction to finding a new thing isn't to run on Twitter and be like, "Hey, here's my opinion. What's yours?" Like, I'm not interested. This is a hobby for me that I'm having.
My Twitter replies are pretty solid.
Sure. But
when I've cultivated.
When you're in a busy time like I am, you don't want even one voice of discontent entering your ears.
That is fair.
So let me say it this way. It's surreal in a way. Like
Friends Don't Let Friends 40K is currently being batted around in our chat room.
Now, you can believe that the Emperor was born during caveman times.
Okay. Not being rude, my laptop is dead, so I'm pulling up notes on my phone.
However, it doesn't really matter, and you can believe it if you want or not. What is the Tyranid hive mind? Nobody really knows. And in that way, it's been insanely charming. After all the aliens and the covenants and whatnot, to just read the wikis of a property that just kind of goes, and why did this happen? War sucks. Because war.
Because war is hell.
In the grim dark future.
Because war is hell.
And it just let it fly.
And I think you mentioned last week that everyone is just dumping Tyranids on you.
Yeah, so apparently that Leviathan box that I talked about a year ago.
Yep.
It came with a very sweet value on the Space Marines, which you can pay however you want for whatever faction you want. So very valuable stuff. But Tyranids are Tyranids through and through. So when I arrived in town here, I had 2 local friends, one from college, one your buddy that we've done with podcasts in the past that we've mentioned pretty frequently. And both were like, you're into Tyranids? You're a Zerg player? Hell yeah. And both, the first one came over to my housewarming. 2 days later, a Codex arrives at my house, Clippers arrive at my house, an X-Acto knife arrives at the brand that they prefer. Just arrives at my house, no questions
You do not
asked.
want cheap clippers, man.
No, yeah, they
really don't.
They were just they just threw everything at me, and then 2 days after that,
Don't use them on anything else.
well, yeah, that's the fabric scissors.
Yes,
Yeah,
they are for
And you-
sprues and nothing
Exactly.
else.
And then 2 days later, my friend from college came down and was like, "Here's the Tyranids I'm not using," and just gave me a whole box of completely unclipped, unbuilt Tyranids. Yeah.
Damn.
So I think all the Space Marines want to fight a Tyranid player really badly,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm constantly sending texts of "That's so cool." By the way, I ain't got time right now. And here's a picture of the one Tyranid I had time to build over 3 nights. I ain't got time right now.
I went to Epcot this weekend with the friend that sent you the clippers and the rule book, and we were in line waiting for a ride, and he goes, "So Kyle's sleep schedule's real effed, isn't it?"
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, yes, but what made you say that? He's like, well, I got 6 texts from him at 1 a.m., 4 a.m., and 6 a.m. Of his Tyranid progress. And I'm like, yeah, he's probably up, rocking Ian back to sleep or something.
Yep. Oh yes. Yeah. It's been,
We were dying laughing in line as Katie and I parsed what Ben, our friend's name is Ben, meant by that, and then found humor in the reality of your existence.
So I've read so many wiki, lexicon, whatever websites it points me to, and I'm like, well, how did the Emperor get the power on the Golden Throne? What is Fleet Leviathan doing out there in the edge of space?
I'm just like, Plague Marines are cool, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's as interested as I am in 40K.
So that's been a grand dose of sanity in my
That's
life.
all I got. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad. I already mentioned I played a little Sims 1. I played a ton of World of Warcraft Season of Discovery during the break.
Sounds chill.
I got to max level on my Rogue. I should have just leveled my Warlock because you're nowhere to be seen.
Yes,
But
do not wait for me.
Yeah, I've got pretty much all the pre-best in slot gear for the level 25 cap.
Pubescent slot?
Pre-best in slot.
Oh.
Pre-BIS. So the stuff that isn't from the raid. The
course,
best, most of the best gear I can get before getting into the raid.
Of course.
And I think 2 actual best in slots because there's almost no trinkets. So I just got I think it's a stam trinket from PvP. Anyway, I'm going to raid tonight, actually. I'm going to go
badass.
do BFD. I don't know actually how long it takes, so I have no idea if we'll clear it. But I wanted to see it at level because they just announced that the level 40 cap is coming next month.
Oh, that's a good cadence.
Yeah. I think if we'd been playing it
perfect.
with any semi-regularity, I hit 25 relatively quick.
Yeah.
And then I did a lot of the Ashenvale PvP event because it happened roughly every hour, every 2 hours based on world people playing in Ashenvale. And so the whole time I was taking this room apart, I was just AFKing in Ashenvale until the next battle started. So I got a lot of Ashenvale in, which got a little boring and repetitive over time, but it was the perfect thing to just leave on during the day And it was a good excuse to take a break from removing wires and lightsaber replicas from this room.
Building the whole studio we find ourselves
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. So I think Season Discovery is really good. I'm really impressed with it overall. I think it's a great little product that I vastly prefer to retail at the moment.
There's so many ideas I love that I just will not play. That you get what you keep season. Oh my God. That is so...
Oh, the no trading?
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Hardcore, no
trading.
trading allowed.
Yeah.
Only what you get.
I'm not ready for hardcore again.
That is so...
You
that's
dying
the
was
point.
heartbreaking.
That's the point.
Yeah, but we don't have that much time. You don't have time to build a second Tyranid.
True.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying that's the point. Like,
I know it's the point.
There's nothing wrong with like...
I know it's a, but are you responding to that one comment that said respecting your time? And you guys are talking about hardcore. Oh my God!
No. I'm like people were telling me along the ride that just wait till your first character dies and you want to level up that one. I was like, no, I'm not going to do a second one. This is simply the point. Like
it is. You should know. I think you're gonna have a good time if you go in. You have to be ready for that.
Yeah,
you have to be ready for that.
And
like
sometimes
it is the point of the mode.
And sometimes you die at a certain point, even in non-hardcore. Sometimes you get a certain item. Like I think of my floating cube in Warhammer. It was such a goal for me to get this little cube that shot bullets anytime I would shoot bullets. And the second I got it, I was entirely bored with Warhammer because it was a goal. It was achievable. It was out in the distance. Valheim, we did the bosses, and I was like, excellent. I'm done.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I would like to redeem ourselves and actually do Dead Mines on hardcore at some point.
Sure.
But I'm not ready. I'm pretty heartbroken. And I'm still alive.
Yeah, you're still alive,
You're
right?
the dead one.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty heartbroken. It takes a lot of time. And Season of Discovery, to me, remixes it enough that, funny enough, that's almost the one I wish had permadeath. Because it's different enough that I don't feel like I've done it all over again.
That's fair.
Doing hardcore over and over again. Now knowing what Season of Discovery has, I'm like, ooh, this is more interesting to me.
Oh, I would remix it thoroughly for another hardcore run to try to keep the interest, but I'm not interested right now, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know how much I'll stick with it, if I'll immediately jump to 40 or whatever.
I mean, I canceled my sub. It's not there.
You're moving.
There was no
you have
drama
time to
involved,
play.
right? But I could have. I'm
Yeah.
a bad content creator. I
Yeah.
apologize. I should have gotten on Twitter and been like, I can't handle this. I'm just so sick. Like, no, I was moving.
I mean, we could have just done the thumbnail, like, why I'm unsubbing. And then it's a very metered, like, I'm moving, I'm having my third kid. I'm more interested in Final Fantasy.
And I want to read Warhammer 40K lore at night.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel like we have to work in those extremes. But the truth is, I really like both. I like Final Fantasy 14. I like World of Warcraft. I think World of Warcraft has been doing some really good things lately in all of the games, even retail, which I just think retail, it's just kind of bloated and it's not focused enough. And there's just,
I saw their new,
just not all that interested. But
something in the reclaiming of Gilneas and the return of Malfurion. And I was like, I have like several problems with this one statement.
I mean, I do like Gilneas. I do like it. It's a cool city.
But of all the reclamations that have been happening, Gilneas, I'm happy for him, but also.
To me, it's funny because I was like, I originally played a Night Elf, and the Night Elf players are like, "Can we have our capital back?" And they're like, "Yes, but in the zone you're about to not want to ever go back to because we're leaving this area."
But this like werewolf apocalypse,
but then the Worgans get exactly their capital back, exactly where it always was.
And the return of Malfurion, the guy who I really don't
hate Malfurion.
Want to hear from.
Malfurion sucks,
He's a great
man.
scout. He's a great guy to come back and tell you what he saw in the Emerald Dream, but.
I feel like now would be boring to kill him because they've already done Tyrande on the Warpath like twice.
Yeah.
So you can't I don't think we're ever gonna have a Malfurion
She's gonna get extra pissed.
Arc. Yeah, like how do you make Tyrande more angry than she's already been?
I mean,
I think Malfurion's very safe.
Well, when you're playing with elves and longevity, you see, the interest of the storyline is.
You can't. I don't think you can play with it with a game that never ends or a story that never ends. Free Ren is gonna have an end, and so you can play with it because it is they have a story to tell. World of Warcraft has to keep telling a story for better or worse. Some of those stories are great. Some of those stories are Shadowlands. So I made my Shadowlands joke. Everybody cheers.
Oh, we were gonna do emails today, but holy heck!
Holy butts!
We went big.
Yeah. We can. We'll rip one
let's
right
rip one.
now because I can answer it quickly. Foxhound asks, send your questions to the Ask the Host channel in the members only location of the Discord. Foxhound asks, if Garrett were to make a 40k faction to play with his good friend Kyle, which would it be? I asked my friend who actually knows Warhammer what the difference is between like faction, army, all that. I'm like, what's a faction? I basically said, hey, Ben, would Plague Marines be the answer to this? And he went, no, Garrett, Death Guard would be the answer to this. And I'm like, okay, Death Guard. I would do Death Guard.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I think Plague Marines are really freaking
They're
cool.
nasty.
They're so gnarly.
They are gross.
I like Marines. I was a Terran player in StarCraft 2, but infested Marines are so much cooler. But they were just like a throwaway unit on an infester. You couldn't you didn't have different versions.
Oh, that noise they would make when they would explode.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's great.
They
were so hard to get to. You had to get your queen all the way over to a base.
The first mini I ever painted was whatever the Plague Marine is that has the bell on a spike over his head. And I had so much fun painting that bastard that when Katie got into Sigmar, I'm like, all right, I'll find something to paint with you. And I picked up orcs and I was like, I hate everything about these little guys. I don't like painting them at all.
Yeah.
They're not nearly as fun as the more armor-clad shit that's going on with Plague Marines.
If I had to do Marines, I think Thousand Suns, I think that they're called, is really fun. They got all corrupted by Slanesh, the god of pleasure.
Oh, I do like. I've seen those guys too. They look
Yeah.
fun. Like even the normal Slanesh, like the normie Slaneshes that just look like Xenobites.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these look like they'd be fun to paint.
And they kind of have like an Egyptian vibe on their armor when they're in their
Oh,
suits.
I don't think I've seen that.
Even
or
though I think they're
didn't pick up on
melted
it.
in their suits or something like that.
Maybe, feels good to someone.
It's
Probably.
just, yeah, exactly. Slanesh mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I like the brush, like the final stages of painting minis. I'm not a big fan of everything else that leads up to it. I really don't like putting them together. I don't find them fun to build at all.
Oh, I like that part.
I'm
nervous about the painting.
I don't find priming. I guess it's fine. I don't mind priming the other way with airbrush. It's fine now. When I was doing it with a rattle can, I freaking hate it.
I don't want to build a box to protect myself. And
yeah, and you're even supposed to do it even with the airbrush, even though it's nothing but air and water, and then whatever paint's there. But I made something out of like a Rubbermaid.
Oh,
like I got one of those square Rubbermaids, and then I just poked some holes in the top, and I think I screened it with like a litter box filter.
Sure.
Yeah, and if you're being particularly diligent, you should out the back actually put a fan in the back. There's little do-it-yourself things where there's fans that are basically the right size for the Rubbermaid. You cut the back out of the plastic, mount a fan, and then you just run some cheap AC hosing out your window.
Sounds safe.
I didn't get to the fan part, so I'm just kind of like, it's good enough. This is not what you should do at home.
But I the painting, like Ben's offered to do demo painting for me, and if I I'm like, oh no, it's so hard. He might just paint him for me if I if I really give up. But honestly, I just want to own my own army. I love the building part, and I want to play, but mostly I just want to play. I want to roll some dice. It's basically two DMs fighting each other with a small DM book. They got their monster manuals, and they're just battling a bunch of creatures.
I know our buddy Ben. He took Abby through a scenario, a small army scenario.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I think honestly, I think if we just said we want to do this, he would be like, pick a Saturday.
Yep.
So I think we're at the drop of
Warhammer's
the hat.
happening.
Yep, it's gonna happen eventually. Whether I don't know how we'll record it because I don't know if Ben and Abby want to be on camera.
On phones, and we'll just talk about it or something.
Yeah.
But
We'll do
keep
zoom
it
ins on.
We're not invading their home with 2 microphones, 3 cameras, and lights.
It'd be vlog style. Whatever's on our camera, on our phones, and then we'll narrate after the fact on a nice microphone.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's how I would shoot that. Because I also just want to enjoy my hangout with my friends.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a production.
Yeah.
Although it's not the first time I've invaded Ben and Abby's house with a production.
I want to play. I'm gonna play. You can hold the phone.
So yeah, this was fun.
It was fun.
It's fun. It's technically our second one in person, but it's the angle I envisioned.
Yeah.
Already, I want to take this, throw it on like a C-stand mount, clamp it to that tripod. I guess we would need it bigger. This would be very difficult to read that far away. Huh.
And we could zoom it in.
Yeah. I don't know. This is planning for a later day.
Yes.
Let's have this conversation not on the podcast. How's that sound?
Excellent.
Instead, I would like to give a wonderful shout out. We would like to give a wonderful shout out to everybody supporting us on our Patreon. Thank you for going to supportourbromance.com. That will take you to our Patreon and supporting us. Also, thank you to our YouTube members. If you join our YouTube membership, you get all the same perks as our entry-level Patreon level.
That's true.
Which on Patreon is $1. I believe it's $5 a month for YouTube memberships. It's $1 a week over on Patreon. That's our lowest level. Parity between it. You all get the Discord access. You get the same bonus podcasts and stuff like that. So go check it out. And then if you want to support us more, Patreon's definitely the place to do it. We have higher levels over there with extra perks, extra stuff for you. So thank you. And thank you to our recent patrons, Aragon Cola and Terramu the Terrible.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'd make that model.
And then, of course, our wonderful legendary level backers that we thank each and every episode. Normally, I have a screen in front of me. I have a dead laptop and a phone. Thank you to our legendary level backers. Sean B., Mike R., Stephen J., Das, and Cheesy Bob, our OG backers. And Chris K., Lost Mythics, Wayward E., Servon, Compside Jedi, shout out. Darkman, this is all shout out. I don't know why I said it for Compside Jedi. Pothy, what's up? Bloodsy Von Snugglegore, still love your name. Zachary D., how you doing, Zach? Star Johnson, always good to see you. Zach Zock, always fun to say that name. Avane, if that is your
You
real
still
name.
got a lot to go.
I know it
This
isn't.
is going well.
Shinichio, makes me think of Shinigami. Nicholas C. Sup, Nick? I don't know if you actually go by Nick. Gazlin F. I don't need to fill up my cars. Coral, makes me feel like I need to go scuba diving. Slin.
Slanesh.
Yeah, that's what actually, yes, that is what it made me think of.
Yeah.
Thalm. Again, I don't have a joke for you, Thalm. That's just a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catwolf. But one's feline.
Bet the best of both worlds.
And one is
yeah.
canine. That can't happen. Jerry T.
Hi.
And Sean and Jen in unison. Two
Good to see you
names in one. Thank you for the support, everybody. Kyle and I use Doghouse Gaming's PCs. You can see my new one and my old one right here if you're watching on video. And you can too. If you're in the market for a new PC, check out doghousesystems.com. Use the code BROMANCE and you will get yourself a free 2 terabyte NVMe drive for your trouble. And we get a kickback.
Oh, yes. That's just
We do
natural.
get a kickback.
I mean, you do enter the word bromance in there.
Yes.
They would owe us
Yes.
just for using that word.
It's so much fun. They probably had so much fun entering it into their database.
Exactly.
Yes. So other than that, follow Kyle on Twitter at Kyle Ferguson. I'm at Garrett Art. We are in unison at Garrett and Kyle. We do have a joint account. Follow us there. Subscribe to youtube.com/AMOTV or just search for Grinding Gear on YouTube. That is where you can find us. We will be live tomorrow. We record this on Monday, so if you're listening to this today, it came out, we're live tomorrow. Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be live every damn Tuesday, starting at that time, and tomorrow we are doing it. We are getting into Final Fantasy 14, our first FF14 stream, and we're also going through our P.O. box.
Inventory's full.
Inventory is very full. And then Thursday, we're getting back to MSQ. I'll be celebrating not only my birthday, but hanging out with my good buddy, Emmett.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a good time. Join us for all of that. Enjoy the new video drop on Wednesday. Please watch it because YouTube probably thinks we died.
We're streaming right now. It's probably confused.
It's probably the video
confused.
algorithm is different from live stream
Yeah,
algorithm.
it's very confused by us.
Yeah, whatever the case is, please give it a watch. Thank you for the support, everybody. We'll see you very soon. But until then, GG.
Take care.
What's up, chat? How you doing? How you doing, everybody?
I've heard quite a few people are going to join us for the inventory endeavor.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
they need to clean. They all want to clean.
Where's the dashboard? We missed some supers.
Little spring cleaning.
And I want to make
Excuse me.
sure. This laptop used to last a lot longer, and I guess it's showing its age because I guess I'll need it
I mean,
plugged
we
in.
were at it for a while.
Yeah, this went longer than I thought. This went longer than I thought it would go, and I'm watching myself, which I can't. I don't want to see that. Oh my God, we have more than 500 people here freaking watching us.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, everybody.
No, we were in the 600s.
Thank you.
For
Yeah,
the big PAL world discussion.
there's a lot of folks in our community that like it, and
Yeah.
a lot of folks in our community that like Pokemon. There's a lot of people that like both, and it's being talked about for a reason. I think this is shit. I forgot to make this point.
Oh, no.
Here's my biggest take on Pal
no.
World. Here's my biggest take on Pal World. If it sucked, we wouldn't care. We'd be like, this is a piece of shit, and we
Yeah.
would move on with our lives. But it's
point.
actually a pretty fun game, and this is the most serious I'm going to get about it. Like this most, I think if it does end up that this is that this involves generative AI, it is going to force us to have a really serious goddamn conversation about how we as gamers feel about that.
It's not a bad thing.
Right. But it's a hard thing. It's not an easy thing, and it's definitely not like inherently a fun thing.
No. Well, particularly when you get into the I'm a consumer, give me my consume
Yes.
kind of branches of the video game sphere.
And we are consumers, and I do think we are, and this is not like casting aspersions on all of you because I think I'm in this. I think we're all generally very bad about admitting our role in the business of games and shit that we don't like anything. Throw a stone at anything. DLC, battle passes, loot boxes before, other governments got involved and ran that shit out of town. We had a role to play. Whether we individually did, and it doesn't matter. No one wants to hear you be like, well, I, for one, never bought a loot, but good for you. A lot of us did. And so it's still on us, and a lot of us, I think, are, myself included, bad about thinking about the role we had to play in the state of things. And I think that's true of AI.
What's that?
So, anyway, Arcana said, thank you all so much for the gifted subs, and a big thank you, big time, to the GG guys for the great content for so long. I'm so happy to have been. Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being here. Das, thank you for the money for the Squirtle Squad.
That's right. Yeah, the Squirtle Squad.
FES back at you. Squirtle it's my favorite starter. Always has been. But I do like the original 3. I love the original 3 starters. All of them.
They're just classic.
Bulbasaur, fantastic.
Hard not to
Charmander,
like 'em.
get in here. All of them, their middle evolution is the worst. Ivysaur's weird. Probably the least worst.
I think Ivysaur is my favorite. The nub on Charmeleon.
It's
the nub
a little
is
odd.
Well, and it doesn't really speak to the double horns that you would get. Like,
No.
in no world would you grow a nub and then grow 2 horns out of one nub.
Yeah, but I mean, Wartortle has the stupid swirly ears, and then
stupid
Blastoise actually gets like rad,
Cannons and
like stubby ears that
Yeah.
almost make him look like a pit bull.
yeah, it ain't right.
Like they're pretty sweet. Leah Collinwood, thank you for the super chat. Said, of course the staff would be completely different, but Free Run and Record of Lotus War were both done by Studio Madhouse. I did not know that.
Oh, interesting.
I did not know that. I did not watch Record of Lotus War at a time when I would have ever paid attention to studio names.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also never finished it. I should get back to Record of Lotus War. That'd be a fun, not that we planned anything of this, but that would be a fun thing to do, like a book club or watch along club with.
I bet there's a lot of people who haven't seen it. It's pretty old.
Yeah.
I would watch it again.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's
never finished it.
It's very D&D.
It's very pretty. It's very pretty. Thank you for informing me that, Lee. I had no clue. But that's no wonder. I'm like, man, this gives me Record of Lotus Wars vibes. And no one, I think I even tweeted that. No one was like, yeah, it's the same studio, dummy.
Well, to be fair, there are multiple teams in many studios.
Yeah.
And they can have very different styles. Like,
yeah, but
I dove straight into, I watched Kill la Kill and some other things by that studio. Trigger, right?
Yeah.
You watched Trigger? And then,
Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I watched all that, and then I dove right into like Little Witch Academy, and I was like, well, wait a minute.
I haven't seen Little Witch Academy. How was it?
Did you ever watch the Aladdin TV show?
Yes, I loved it.
Where every single episode, Aladdin need to learn again not to lie.
It's for kids.
It's got that vibe.
Okay.
Okay. The little witch learns the same lesson.
But
it might
you
go
feel
somewhere.
that way about Louise on Bob's Burgers, and I think you're crazy.
Oh well, yeah. Well, Louise is just a troublemaker, and I wanted to see.
Everyone in the family's a troublemaker. Teddy is a troublemaker. Teddy is
But
frequently.
her trouble was always like the same. She felt like she was a device.
I mean, they all are. I mean, Teddy is a device. Bob is
true.
Struggles to be the husband he wants to be, and that causes issues. Linda is very extroverted, and that gets into trouble. My favorite ones are Teddy episodes. It's like very much like when Randy Marsh episodes were like the good part of South Park.
Yes.
Now I think it's kind of snaking its own tail. I think
the
Randy Marsh episodes have become a little bit too formulaic.
I think South Park has always had the problem where they choose a character for themselves, and it's changed over the years from Cartman to.
But I think
Stan
it's kept it fresh.
Yeah,
it's when they linger on it for too long.
Exactly.
Like I loved their more political COVID episodes, but I also didn't love constantly being reminded of things I already took issue with. It was a time where I was very tapped in. I was constantly reading the news. I was in personal circles very vocal about how mad I was with the politics of the world and my country. And so I would turn on South Park, where normally I felt like they would just make fun of it in a really, really bombastic way, and I was like, oh, they're getting kind of real, and it's stressing me out. Yeah, it wasn't, because I don't mind being reminded of it, but I want you to take the piss out of it in a way that's fun, not in a way that kind of reinforces my anxiety.
Yep.
And that's
to me, it was too 1-to-1. Like, you know. Well, it's South Park, right?
yeah. And I miss old South Park when it was just foul mouth kids in school, but you know, you can't do that forever.
Exactly.
Can't do that forever. I mean, the same complaints have been levied at Simpsons for years, and they still have great episodes, and I think the same is true of South Park. Boy, when I'm fully monitoring, it makes me really just want to get into my podcast voice.
Go in the podcast.
Yeah, get cozy. I don't normally talk like this, but there's just something about... This is my phone voice.
Oh, that's a good phone voice.
My folks still run their own business out of the home. They have a home office. And when I was a kid, if I answered the phone, especially if it was still kind of close to 5 p.m., I had to say, hello, who is this, please? And they wanted me to... Right. They were like... Try not to sound like a kid.
Yes, I had to do this is the Fergusons. Can I help you?
Yeah, so I now just... This is when I talk. This is what I sound like when I get excited. This is kind of my normal speaking voice. It gets kind of higher register. But when I get on the phone, I drop into this.
I do it too.
Yeah. And it's kind of my podcasting voice. Anyway, Drasoini's super. Thank you, Drasoini. Garrett, if you like super stylized stuff, check out the Fire Hunter. It looks painted and is super unique.
I haven't heard about this.
I haven't either. First time I've ever heard of it. I'll Google it here in a second. Das Supered. Thank you, Das. Oh shit! Main part of birthday present just got delivered.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Das. Do you want me to wait till tomorrow? And then Nakuru, 50 months, said, using my free chat to say, if you enjoyed Free Run, please consider checking out Delicious in Dungeon. It's by Trigger Studio. Oh, is that out now?
Yeah.
Oh, that was on my radar. I didn't know it was out. Shit. I want to watch that. Hope you had a good vacay. I don't think it was really a vacation for Kyle.
Did I watch that?
I did take a decent break.
I did go to the cabin we were there for 4 days. So we had like a actual vacation.
Yeah, but we were off air for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And
no, that's true. 4 days is
three and a half of that was moving for you. And you're still technically moving.
I think I talked about Handyman before I left.
Oh, okay.
But I loved Handyman. Handyman was great.
Up to you would be funny. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go grab it.
Okay.
Chill with chat for a sec.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
Garrett's off to go. Check the mail, as it were, for his birthday Thursday. How y'all doing? It's good to be here. It's good to be here. The studio is awesome. We got so many plans for it. There's so much to prepare. My stuff comes in Thursday. My pod, my old stuff. Got a standing desk for myself. Ran everything into the ground at my old place, so got myself a standing desk, which I didn't realize is really good for child protection, because you just go beep at the end of the day and just the whole thing just like rises out of finger range, which is very nice. So, encouraging you all. Like, you didn't hear about standing desks over the past 3 years, but it's pretty sly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the couch too. The problem is I keep running into old people, family members, and all who want to gift me couches. And so far, only one has sent me photos. So I'm like, I'll take a couch. Like, bring it on down. Like, send me photos. Yeah, I need a couch for the couch co-op. But only one has delivered. So, oh wow! All right, are you gonna do this now? Good. Yeah.
It's here.
All right.
Let's try and obscure.
Yeah, keep it angled.
Yeah.
Properly angled.
All right. Hold up a minute. Beth, Avane, are you here? Because your package also showed up.
We got P.O. Box tomorrow too.
We do have yeah, we have more than enough stuff to get through tomorrow if you're worried about that.
I am not, no.
I'm more worried about the P.O. Box opening taking up so much time we don't actually do as much organizing in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, we actually get the fish out of our inventory from...
Yeah. Do not bend. And this was... Oh, this looks like it came directly from... I think this is Shopify, so it wouldn't have you on here. So since this one is clearly from Avane, I'm going to assume that... yeah. Wait. Oh, Avane is here. Nice. Hi. All right. Yours is here too. So I'm going to open Das's first, because Das's suggestion is the reason we're in this. We find ourselves in this predicament. I'm going to just try and Doesn't have the perforated edge, and this is like packed to the edge, and I don't want
Yeah.
to cut anything. So
I think you did a good job opening,
safely
making an opening there while being protective of the addresses and
So
whatnot.
here's my secret, Kyle. When we do PO boxes, I pre-open everything with a blade, so I don't have
Smart.
So I don't have to struggle with it like I currently am. Like this plastic was made by Thor.
Yeah, we made the mistake for Christmas. We got the more plastic paper, and it didn't rip for the kids.
Oh,
And so we had to help them basically unfold at the seams.
Oh, Jesus, Dexter just
Hello,
barged
kitty.
in. I guess I didn't close that all the way. All right, here we go. Is this? Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, even more
Oh my
thoroughly
goodness.
wrapped on the inside of the wrap.
Okay, there's no identifying information on this, so.
A beautiful parcel.
Das, my goodness. That is an actual wax stamp, dude. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
The string is
straight
under.
up.
I don't want to open this. I don't want to tear this. This is gorgeous. Okay. What is this? What's going on here? All right. So this is an early birthday present in case anyone's wondering what the hell's going on. My birthday is this week.
Thursday.
Das and Avane we've met in person, and I don't think they're going to try and murder me with an axe. So they are on home address,
Of course.
friendship level. Oh my god, I don't want to. Oh, I think I just got to do it, man.
Yep, rip it, man.
Oh wait, hold up.
And
I'm getting on. Oh,
don't
whoop.
don't miss the joy of it.
I don't.
Don't
I know,
work so hard.
I know. Oh, it's just so cool. All right, let's go.
What'd you get?
I do believe
Oh, I think so.
that this is an Emmett Silk body pillow.
All right. You gotta unfurl it. At least the front half. We don't know what's on the back,
Das, you bastard.
but we gotta see it. Might need to open it off screen just in
Okay,
case.
hold on. It does show both sides. I think we're good. I think
Okay.
this is. I would say PG.
Okay.
I think we have Garlean garb and Asian garb.
On the reversibles.
Oh my god. There's a card that says, "Happy birthday, Garrett. Here's a little something for your background."
Nice.
And in case anyone wants a shout out, looks like this is Manyo Japanese pattern. Oh, I don't know what that is. There also appears to be, I'm going to bet that is a pack-in sticker that this merchant does with all of their stuff. Mm-hmm. All right, Kyle. All right. Oh, hold up. Let's.
All right.
Oh, my word. I'm going to have so much explaining to do to Katie.
No, not that much explaining.
You're right.
It's got to be pretty quick at this point.
Oh, we're getting a double-sided effect because of the lighting.
Look
but-
at that.
Yep, and then the other side. There
There
it is.
we go.
There it is.
All scruffed up.
Can you imagine this like propped up in the corner for some videos?
That's excellent.
This is remarkably high quality. I
Oh my
have
goodness.
never scrutinized the body pillow.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
Hang on. We got to really the face difference here. Look at that sadness.
I'm really tempted.
touch.
I'm really tempted because
And then bam.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Messy.
We are unfortunately heading into an election year, and I know there's going to be flags outside. And I'm just thinking, just think we should hang that outside. Oh my,
That's
dude.
wonderful.
Oh, man, I'm gonna look at Spreadshirt and see if they do signs, yard signs. Because what a time to do like Emmett 2024.
Oh my goodness. And everyone's like, whoa, who's that? Some independent?
Some independent. Oh my god. You were so eager, Das, that I had my suspicions it was something of this ilk, but you have outdone yourself, you absurd
Wonderful.
human.
Wonderful.
Oh, Dexter loves Emmett. Oh, can you see? Oh, he's just
Yeah.
out of frame.
Yeah.
He's just out of frame.
Absolutely beautiful.
All right. And then while we're here, we got Avane. All right. So, met Avane when Katie and I took that break last year and went to New York for the long
Oh, so
weekend.
this is the same person who gave you the Final Fantasy VII.
Yes. Yeah. Real name Beth.
Nice.
Which we used a clip of Katie and me up on the landing with Beth. So
Was that in the year wrap up?
that was in the year wrap up. Yeah. So Beth is Avane, and Avane is Beth. previously clear. I was like, first off, is it okay if I use this video? Because we also refer to you as Beth, and that's like, yeah, it's fine. So, oop, or I think, Beth, if I remember correctly, I think your answer was, because I think I said, are you comfortable? And I think your response was, no, but please use it. If I remember, I think that was a more accurate representation. Oh, yes, it's snacks. Because the other thing, yes. The other thing that, in addition to the final copy of Final Fantasy VII that Beth gifted me, she also bestowed upon Katie and me delightful snacks, including candied yuzu, which is now one of my favorite things, and thank you for more of it.
The what?
Candied yuzu.
What is yuzu?
Yuzu is like a super lemon.
Oh, wow.
That is very popular in cocktails, and we made a martini with, there's a Japanese gin called Roku, and it's a little sweeter. There's like, I don't think there's any juniper in it, so a lot of people don't like gin. You actually just don't like juniper, so you should get usually London dry gins have juniper. So get a non-London dry. Hendrix doesn't have juniper. I think Botanist might have it, but not as strong. But anyway, I don't think there's any juniper in Roku. It's more fruity, and there is yuzu in Roku gin. And so I made a martini with Roku gin instead of London dry gin, and we used this as a garnish, and it was fucking delicious. It was absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to, my mother always taught me, read the note first, Garrett, then open the present.
Yes.
And oh my God, this is kitten stationery. Oh my word. Happy belated and hopefully not belated birthday. Oh, because it's addressed to Katie and me. Oh. I will read this again with Katie in the room. She's out with our elder dog at the moment. I'm sending you some treats from NYC in hopes of enticing you to visit again. Had a wonderful time hanging out with you both. Let me know how you like the treats. P.S. Love to chat with Katie about mini painting. She is happy to oblige, Beth. Yeah, we can totally set something up. Thank you so much. Let's see what we got. This looks like a praline hazelnut. I thought this was like candy. Oh my God, it opened. Well,
Hazelnuts are free.
Would you like it? Do you have any nut allergies?
I don't know, actually. I've never had a hazelnut.
Oh my God, that's delicious. I'm going to need to rebag those. It's absolutely wonderful. Yes. Waffle cookies.
Waffle cookies.
This was also one of the things Beth sent us home with, and we loved it. It's so good with coffee.
Oh.
They're so good with coffee. See if we can get that. It's probably not going to focus. Real quick, and then I'll do some close-ups for you all before we get out of here. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Kyle. I didn't expect this. Oh my word. Best one served chill. What am I even looking at? This is. Do you see all this?
Wow. What is
Gorgeous.
it?
I'm not sure. Oh, we got rice cake. We've got. These are labeled. Sukana shuku. Oh, it's a bean cake. Oh my God. Beth, this is wonderful. And then we have sugared citrus fruit peel.
What's the glass boy?
It's plastic and it is marked. Oh, the Best By date is over this. It looks like it is Kinjio, and the translation is muscat jelly. I'm going to need to do some research on that one. That is exciting. Oh my goodness. The packaging on this is absolutely beautiful.
Jelly.
This is like a bag of holding.
Oh,
it just
my
keeps
goodness.
happening. Oh, and we have some chocolates, assorted chocolates.
Well, sure.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Beth. Got to show some of these off. These things are like my new favorite snack. So, focus, cover the eyes.
Yep.
Cover the eyes, cover the eyes. There we go. These are delicious. Thank you so much, Beth. when you hit me up and you were like, I just want to make sure it doesn't like sit in a PO box for too long. I was like, oh, I think I'm getting snacks.
Yeah, you're getting some snacks.
I think I'm getting snacks. Thank you so much. And then the actual pillow is coming tomorrow, says Das. In Super Chat. You got me a body pillow. You don't need to also Super Chat, Das.
Also went on to say,
Kyle has to wait for tomorrow for his Christmas present for the stream. Sorry, Kyle, it's not a body pillow of your Geary. I couldn't find one I really liked.
Thank you for being discerning. I appreciate that.
Well, you're
Gotta be of quality.
he's a lizard girl,
Yeah.
so he would know.
You would know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And a vein super. You're required to share with Katie. Yes.
There you go.
Well, she would. There'd be violence. There'd be loving violence. I cannot believe we just unfurled an Emmett body pillow on stream.
Yep, you sure did.
And this is why you stick around for the after show.
The after show, everybody.
The after show. My God. Well, we need to get this posted.
Yep.
And get Kyle home.
And I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, you will be. We're doing this all over. More box opening.
Lots of boxes.
Did you try the hazelnut?
And fish. No, I'm not going to have, it's super lame, dude. I'm not going to have a nut on an empty stomach because I'll feel awful.
Oh, your diverticulitis. I'm sorry. I forgot.
It's super lame. I didn't want to bring it up, but yes. Yeah, I would feel really lame.
I'll tell you what. Well, I'll get some yuzu set aside for tomorrow. We can have some
I'd
yuzu
appreciate
snacks.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dexter's getting in the box.
Like the cat does.
It does have I would pick it up, but it has an address on it. But thank you again, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you're just tuning in and you missed the podcast, I'm going to go post it right now. It should be up in about 30 minutes. GG, everyone.
Bye, everybody.